What's up, y'all? It's James. Just want to get the damn screen set up, so let me make sure this is even live and active and doing this thing. But I just kind of wanted to talk about, post RBET Rulers. Figured we can go over some replays and, just kind of do our thing there. Let's update this thumbnail. Here. I'm gonna do a little tier list probably. And yeah, just kind of vibe out. Like adding text over the image right now. Let me get thumbnail. But yeah, man, I mean, you know what, let's just rock out. So I wanted to pull up this tier list, and this is not really something I've done on the channel before, but I know obviously it's like a staple of people's content making. So I don't know, I just kind of thought it would be kind of fun to do. Thank you for the X, Anthony, But yeah, no, I want to do a more comprehensive Edison tier list than I feel a lot of people have done, because, there are a lot of variants of different decks. As you can see, I have like Junk Frogs, I have like, this one, probably not supposed to be there, but like the OTK Frog, the Zero Frog, the Diva, all that type of stuff. So I just kind of wanted to have some coverage of all that stuff too, in addition to like the more standard lists, because I feel like that's kind of the important part, right? Is like how these things, like if you're deciding what deck to pick, you're trying to decide which version is better than the other. But yeah, I'm gonna just chill here and go over that and so I'm gonna start ranking these, and I don't want to go too crazy on it, so I don't want to take too much time, but we're gonna start Bayou, best deck, obviously just won this thing, been winning everything, really solid engine. Blackwings, I'm gonna put up here as well. I might end up dropping them down to here, because I would just feel like Blackwings don't really perform the way that like they're supposed to, or like they're like talked about as if they will or something. Oh, you can't hear me? Oh, okay, hold on. Sorry. Yeah, I got you. Just a tip, read the chat. No. I had it pulled up in another window, but let me fix this. Yeah. No, I hear you. That down, and this can go up. Okay. Yeah. I'm turning it down. All right. We're getting there. Sorry, guys, but thank you for bearing with me. What's crazy too is the window that I had the. Oh no, the chat's there. All right, we're good. Okay, we still good? Are we settled? Better? Anything? Let me check on my end. Okay. Yeah, this seems a little better. But yeah, sorry about that. All right, but anyway, I'm just gonna do this tier list anyway, and you know, it is what it is, but let's go in. So we put this here, Vayu, Blackwing. This is like the hybrid version. I've kind of been like more interested in this version lately. I just think like the speed of it might be good against things like Dragon Turbo. And I'm kind of vibing with it. I'm gonna put the fish deck. We'll wait on that, but I think I'm gonna put it up here somewhere. The junk frogs, probably worse than the other frog versions. The hero frog, maybe up here, but like probably here. Diva frog, I think Diva frog low-key kind of good, but it's still probably over here. So this is just like Diva Hero. I kind of think Diva Hero maybe up here, maybe top of here. This is like the OTK frog. I don't know where I want to put that yet. This is like a, so I have a couple hero versions here. I have like Diva Hero Beat, which I think is very strong.
So you think you know Wix? Do you really?
Yo, this is just a crazy Wix ad in the middle of my middle of my damn music.
Or you can create your own graphic. I use this.
Okay, well, I gotta get past that. This is like the light stun hero, I would say. The stuff that like got, I think, third at the YCS. I think that this deck is pretty strong as well. And then I just have like regular hero. I kind of just left this in because I mean, there are versions that don't play the skill drain or don't play as heavy stun stuff, but they also don't play Diva. But I kind of feel like if you're not playing Diva, you might as well be playing the more stun-oriented stuff. So like if you're just gonna supplement the Divas with like Snowman and Ocean or Crystal Seer or whatever people want to do, that just seems kind of ass to me. But you know, it's still like a deck that exists. This is Machina with the Gadgetron stuff. This is not very good. Machina Gadget, I think probably like is good. I'll reorder this stuff in a second. The Machina Flip with like the Raikou stuff. Yeah, probably in here somewhere. Probably about as good as Machina Gadget. Maybe Machina Gadget's a little bit better. I have the Dark Gaia Norlaris deck. I mean, I'll put it in here somewhere. I have the Vayu Norlaris deck. I'm gonna also put it in there. I mean, no one wants to play against those decks, but they're like not very good. I'm gonna do Red Eyes and the Red Eyes like flip deck that I played. It actually is pretty nice, like, and that guy Rob did well with it, so I'm gonna put it up here. The Dragon Turbo deck, I don't really want to put it S+, but like, I think you could really make the argument that it is. I'll put it solidly in the middle there. This is like the dragons with the more pure dragons, I guess, like Disaster Dragons. I put DD Warlady on it, but obviously I don't have to play DD Warlady. And so I'm gonna put it like, it's still like okay, but I honestly think it's like kind of trash. This deck is probably good, but I just don't really want to think about it for the second. This is Chaos Fairy. I think Chaos Fairy is probably, this is a tough one. I mean, maybe I'm just gonna have to push this stuff down. I don't really care about Chaos Fairy. I might put it in Who Cares personally, but it definitely is like a fine deck. Regular Fairy, I think like also a fine deck. I think you would be hard pressed to say whether Chaos Fairy or regular Fairy are better. They're like the same to me, like some pros and cons, but same engine. Christius Warren I think is quite good. I would probably put it about up here. Yeah, I think I put it like up here above these decks. Regular Lightsworn, I probably put like, I don't know. I haven't really found the build that I feel like makes it make sense, but it definitely is really strong. So that's like a deck I feel like could be refined a lot more. Ojama, I put that on as a joke, so we're gonna put it in Who Cares, although like there probably is some crazy Ojama build. Glads, yo, I know that like minority opinion, like, and definitely a little bit of Who Cares, because anytime you play Glads, you're kind of just coping, but I think Glads are legitimately pretty good. Maybe we can play some Glads on the stream tonight. And like, I would probably go so far as to say like Glads are probably like, I don't know, like here, like, I think they're probably like there. Like maybe people are gonna call me crazy, but like I would so much rather play Glads than basically like any of the decks below here. Aliens, a little bit Who Cares, but like these are I guess like legitimate decks. Macro, Who Cares, but like it's good. I mean, we can drop Ojama, you're joking, but Gravekeepers, I think Gravekeepers are also kind of slept on. They're probably like good enough to be ranked, you know. Amaryllis low key is kind of Who Cares, but like maybe I'm sleep, you know. Nah, I think this deck is like kind of fake. I think Amaryllis is a good card. It's an expensive card, but like I think it's a bit fake. Like it just doesn't really do anything. The games that they win, I feel like they're just like high rolling you with like normal Titanial stuff, like the opening foolish Lonefire stuff, and then like the Amaryllis are sort of incidental on top of that. Like quick draw plant, kind of same thing. I'm gonna put it as Who Cares. I mean it's like fine. It's probably like in here somewhere. Quick Draw Machina. This is like not really a deck anyone plays, but it's a deck that I've messed around with. It's like also probably in here. Maybe a little better than that, but probably in there. This is Zombie. This is like Welladad. Zombie with the Power Well. I think the Power Well is probably like the worst version of the zombie stuff you can play, but it's still like a pretty solid deck. So I'll probably put it like the bottom here, most realistically. I could put it top here, but like probably bottom here. Maybe it's even better than these. Like it does have a lot of OTK potential. But the Ultimate Offering Zombie, that never really caught on, you know. I thought it was a cool list and people didn't really want to mess with it, but I think that deck is still quite strong. Like probably put it a little above Glads. You know, a lot of these zombie variants are probably like roughly close in power level. Diva Zombie, I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that Diva Zombie's kind of like tired and true the best one, even though like I don't really know how much that means, but it's like got to be up here somewhere. Maybe just like, I mean, Ultimate Offering Zombie is basically Diva Zombie, so I can put that up there too. Yeah, sure. This is like Plant Zombie. That deck's pretty much fake, I guess, although it's kind of a cool idea. The Instant Fusion Zombie stuff, I think it's kind of cool, like more like hand rip oriented, like when they Urbellum you and Reaper you and Reaper. Like I said, Prismatic Glads, Tigerless Gods, or with or without Prisma. Yeah, I didn't really feel like doing all those designations, but most of the versions that I play are, I use like Hamster and stuff. That's the stuff I've been using recently. Honestly, Glads just like don't warrant enough attention for me to like go into each of those like positives and negatives, but I think they're like all roughly about the same. Like probably Prisma and the hamster builds are the better ones. Like Tigerless, just like stun ones, I think are pretty bad. Um, Insuffusion Zombie, I'll put up here. Dark Gaia, I mean, yeah, fake deck, who cares? X-Saber, low-key, I think X-Saber's kind of good. I mean, something better than this, like, probably top of here, sure. This we already did with Driving Turbo. Cat Plant, you know, shout out to Snack. I just thought I'd throw that on there kind of as a funsy. But I think Cat Plant, you know, I like Cat. Let's do Cat first. I like Cat more than I think it gets credit for. It can be very fast and like rip your hand a lot, which can be really annoying. So I'd probably put it like here. Yeah, like I think Cat is, I don't know, is Cat a better deck than Fairy? It's like pretty close. I'm gonna just leave it there and worry about it later. But yeah, Cat Plant Cat, probably just like worse than playing the other Cat stuff, but yeah, I'd probably put it down here with like zombie Plant. That's like the same kind of vibe to me. What else we got? Flamvell, who cares? Literally, yeah, kind of you're joking, but like literally, who cares? Gadget, just like straight Gadget, pretty bad, but like maybe could do something. Yeah, down there somewhere. This is like the Kuraz, like Gadgetron stuff. Sort of who cares, but like, you know, it kind of disappoints me that Carpath stopped messing with that deck, because like, I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was a cool list, but realistically, yeah, I mean, it's like down here. I do feel like there's kind of room for it to do something, like room for it to be optimized. Maybe I'll take a crack at that sometime. But yeah, I don't know. It should just kind of like Mayberry Yo-Yo, what's up? Hell yeah. Kozaki S out of frame. Yeah, Kozaki is breaking completely, just like off the charts here. What else we got? Oh, make sure that didn't mess anything up. So the Gemini deck, yo, this deck is actually cool, and I think it's pretty good. I don't know if it's like better than X-Savers, but I think it's good. I'll put it at the top there. Assault mode, who cares? I kind of put it on there as a joke. I might even drop it to you joking, just so Ojama doesn't get lonely. Like Power Tool Plants, like the extent to which that's kind of the same deck as like Zombie Plants, I don't really know. It's a deck that I kind of messed with for a while, the Power Tool Plant stuff. I think it's actually pretty good. It's really fun to play. I'll put it right here. Six Samurai, I'm sorry, but you're joking. Like someone asked me the other day, they were like asking me to take a look at their Six Samurai deck. And he's like, I really like tried to put in a lot of work on this deck. Like, is there anything like, what would you do? You know, if you're good at like taking these bad decks. And I'm like, Six Samurai is like a deck that I never want to touch with like a 10-foot pole. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think Six Samurai doesn't have the tools, you know. But this is the thing. I mean, let's recalibrate a little bit, because Vayu and S plus, that might be a little crazy. Like, we can probably, I don't know though. This kind of is what I feel like. This is like, for, you know, one bite. What's the Dave Portnoy, like, Barstool, like one bite pizza, whatever. This is like one shot of me making this tier list. But let's see. Vayu and S plus, I mean, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy to be up there alone saying it's so much better than everything else. But at the same time, like, can you really deny that? Like, it kind of just is more consistent. It kind of has all the tools. Like, the deck is looking pretty nice right now. Blackwing, I feel like Blackwing might even low-key have to go down. Like, if we're talking about conversion rates and all that shit. Also, just every time you enter a tournament, like Blackwing, people are like gunning for you. You know, it's like people have so much sideboard hate. It's the one matchup that like everyone like no one does sideboard plans, right? Like no one, that's like not that good does like sideboard plans, but like everyone knows exactly what they're going to sideboard Blackwing. So I feel like it just gets kind of hated out in a way that maybe like does it kind of a disservice. Dragon Turbo is not this good. Let's be fucking real. Diva Hero B, it's probably not better than Blackwing. It might be better than Hybrid. I just don't know enough about Hybrid yet. Like you could pop that up there, I think. I don't know. Blackwing are really nice, but I think I'm gonna keep it like this. I'm gonna keep it like this. Hero Frog, it's just like it doesn't really perform that crazy. Like it's good, it's definitely really good, has a lot of tools, but like doesn't perform that crazy. Christie Swarm, that makes sense to me. Diva Zombie, these should probably be a little bit lower, I think. They just like haven't really been performing. The zombie deck, the dragon deck, I think is probably a little worse than zombies. The light beat deck, that deck is ass. I don't know why I put it so high, but it is better than like Glads. I don't know. Maybe it's not so ass. It's better than Lightsworn. Fish. What do I actually think about Fish? That'll be a good little segue because we're gonna look at the Fish replays from my tournament. But are Fish better than Dragon Turbo and Christia Sworn? I think so. Are they better than Dragon Turbo? Yeah, I just don't like Dragon Turbo very much. I'm gonna say Christia Sworn's better than Dragon Turbo too. I just keep dropping Dragon Turbo down. How about that? Nah, I'm gonna leave Dragon Turbo there. I think DV Hero might be better than Dragon Turbo though. I think this is looking good. The zombie decks, yeah. I don't have like enough knowledge about these different builds, but Pure Light Sworn, Diva Frog, yeah, sure. Junk Frog, Glads, Machina Gadget, Machina Flip stuff, Cat, some other. I mean, this is probably still fine. Like, I just don't see much like reason to play it. That's really the whole. Like, it's definitely like actually a very good deck. It's just like I don't really see much reason to play it over Diva or Skill Drain, like stun versions. So, but let's see what else. How's the stream been? I don't know. I started recently, and it's fine. Initially, I had trouble because I was a boomer. But what's up, Snack? We're gonna go over our game in a second, like literally a second. I'm just gonna finish doing this. What do you say? Machina can't be lower than GB. Low-key, they are. You know what? I'm gonna say they are. GB are good, and the haters can, you know, alongside or whatever they say. Chaos Fairy, that deck is so ass, but like it's probably good enough. Like, is Gemini better than Chaos Fairy? I don't know. Welladad, this might just be my bias. I don't want to be a hater and be like, oh, Welladad and Fairy so low. But yeah, like this zombie version, there still might be better than Cat. I don't know, Cat's kind of nice though. Cat looks kind of nice sometimes when you play against it, but maybe it's just actually bad. I'll probably leave it something like this. These, I'm not even gonna go all the way back through. This frog deck, the combo frog deck, I feel like I'm gonna leave it as S+ and make everyone lose their mind. No, I'm just kidding. But like, I can't really tell how good it is. I know, like I know what kind. It's hard to, you can't really evaluate it on the same axis as these other decks, but like, I'm gonna leave it as S+ and make everyone lose their mind. Whatever. Yeah, this is all fine. Like, are these decks probably better than like some of these? Sure. Maybe I'm rating Amaryllis too low, but I don't care. So I'm gonna lock it in with this. We're locking it in. I think there's also like, I can put the link to this or something, just so y'all can look at it too, or like make your own or whatever. You know, sound off in the comments if you are overrating Flip Dragons. No, I'm not. I might be. I lost to it today, so I gotta be. This tier template, yeah, I had to make one my own. That's the thing. I said right at the beginning, like I saw yours on Snack on the tier lister thing, and like, I mean, yours was fine. It wasn't an issue with you, but it's like, I felt like the whole point is like to talk about kind of the builds in relationship to each other. So like, being able to be specific. And also, I always see the comments in these videos are like, wait, is this referring to this or is this referring to this? And like, hope like, is this talking about Diva Frog or is this talking about Junk Frog? And like, hopefully this can quell that a little bit. But yeah, I think this is. Yo, am I getting an ad right now for toilet paper? We know that Yu-Gi-Oh players don't wipe their ass. Okay, so we're gonna keep it moving. Quick stream, quick stream. This is like for the ADD generation, you know, like, oh, Victor, you were saying Amaryllis, you didn't see Amaryllis. I thought you were saying Amaryllis should be higher, but yeah, I mean, both could be true. I don't know why my chat thing isn't updating. This has like been a consistent problem. Oh no, oh, I just have to open it? I just have to like refresh it. Oh, I have to keep having it open, I see. I see. Alright. I'm learning, you know, I'm still a boomer at this stuff. So what account am I on here? Yeah, this is Luck Extreme. This is the one I played with. So I'm just gonna go through the replays one by one. Round one was straight out of Compton. Let me sip this some water. Guy hit me with the GL man. I like that, you know, like a good familiarity. I think this guy lives on Long Island, so I'll probably see him at a tournament at some point. But so I win the roll, which is pretty important in this particular game, if I remember. So, you know, this is going to be Fish Deck Crash Course because I really haven't done a gameplay video of Fish. Maybe I'll rip this and re-upload, whatever. But like, with this hand, you probably don't want to moray right away. You rather thin the one Treeborn, so you have less chance of drawing into it. Because also, like, if you did it first, there's a chance that you would hit, you know, like a way to normal sub or like something else to do with the Swap Frog, like maybe special the Swap Frog and normal a sub. Like, doing it this way burns your normal summon, is what I'm trying to say. But the chances of me like going for that against a more or less unknown matchup is kind of low, I think. So I just usually would do it this way in this particular situation. There's a chance that like you could even not do this and like keep the uni, but like you can draw into Dust Shoot here. You know, seeing 3 draws is quite big. People will like use upstarts or use like allures and blind spots just to find a shoot or find like some other you know, if I find 1 for 1 here, that's obviously quite good. But yeah, so it's worth. And then I redraw the Unifrog anyway. I also draw a brick, but I draw Brain, so you know, I guess it evens out. I don't know what this guy's playing at all. Maybe I should hide this for suspense. Like, I knew he's the guy that topped with the Amaryllis deck going in, so I figured that there would probably be Amaryllis present, which can be an annoying matchup. Just Titanial can be annoying for this deck, but maybe I should look at my list too while we're at it. Let me do that first too. Just so we're all claro about Fish. Yeah, this was the list I played. It's basically the same. I cut Flip Flop Frog for a Battle Fader, and I changed like 2 cards inside. I added a second Crow, and I cut to my body, and I swapped the Owie for the Mind Crush. Mind Crush is like, just is a little better against like Christia Sworn and Dragon Turbo, and I don't really like, multiple Owies is not really what I want to be boarding in anyway. But yeah, those were the only changes I made. But this guy slaps me with an Arcus, and you know, I don't fully know what he's playing. Like, it's funny because like a week and a half ago maybe, I was like, yo, what about Plant Sworn? You know, like kind of like Christia Sworn vibes, but like plants. And so as soon as he summoned this, I was like, bro, this guy's steal Plant Sworn. But I mean, he could just be playing like Normalized Sworn, he could be playing Christia Sworn. So, you know, I just gotta be ready for anything. And like, if I don't Gorse here, then like Eel can swing, I can get back the tree, then maybe I'm setting Roar, but like, I don't really see a more opportune time to Gorse, especially if it is anything plant related. Like, giving them more turns to set up all that stuff doesn't seem like a very good idea. So I can just like pressure with this and set a roar. It just like puts him on a faster clock. He sets 2. He's playing roar himself, but mills charge, which obviously I'm happy about. I just decided to go with the uni. I mean, there's not really much point to like specialing the swap or like doing anything with the fishboard here. Obviously I can't brain anyway, so it would just be like eel going in. And I mean, he saw me shuffle back the uni also, so maybe like he's more inclined to set something that would get hit by it. But even if this just like forces like a call on it, or I don't know, not forces, but like hits a call on it, something like that, you know, I'm pretty happy about it. Bottomless. It could be Mirror Force, you know, like I don't think a lot of people play Mirror Force in their like light sworn oriented decks, but maybe he was just playing like Arcus as like a smaller package in something more plant focused, because I know that people have tried doing that, and like that is kind of what he ended up doing. Like he was still playing a pretty heavy plant package. I don't know if he was playing JD or something, but I decided to hedge anyway and like crash. Like I don't feel like having the body on the board of the extra 1200 will be that relevant for me. Like it's the same amount of damage, but like this plays around honest, obviously. So I just hit with that. He doesn't have honest. Perhaps doesn't even play it. Then I just set this, and I know I'll have the opportunity to pop it back again next turn. Here I roar, and you know, normally you might think like, you know, I'm roaring and just like protecting monsters for no reason. Like, yeah, I'm getting the uni pop, but the reality is, I know that I can always normal or special swap pitching Fishborg, or just like summon Fishborg in some type of way, and make a armory arm and equip that to Gore's Orc Titanial. Like he basically has to negate it no matter what I equip it to. I mean, I'll equip it to Gore's most likely, but if I equip it to Titanial, maybe there's a world that I can like crash this. Like if I pitch Fishborg for swap, like I say, I didn't have the brain is what I'm talking about. If I pitch Fishborg for swap, pitch the second Fishborg to bring it back, make armory with the uni, armory equips to Titanial, eel gets summoned, and Gores and swap and eel all crash, that would be game. So this is why I say like I probably wouldn't do that against this guy. He would probably just negate it. But the point is, like, I could armory and kill him, so he's forced to negate the armory. And this is exactly what was it, 49? Maybe there's a way. I would have to think about it a little bit if I could have done it through Gores. I kind of thought about it for a minute in the actual game, but I don't think I can like hit him low enough prior to the Gores, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I could like armory on top of armory and hit him with the Gores first. Is there a line where I can do that? I can like, this is my hand. If I pitch this, nah, I can't really make 2 armory because I only have the 1 level 1. So, but anyway, he doesn't have Gores, so he just loses. And you know, he hadn't shown, did he show any plant cards? I don't really remember. Oh yeah, he showed Titanial, so I do know he's on some amount of plants, and now I'm like, alright, yeah, this is some kind of plant light sworn hybrid bullshit. I do side in the Owie and the Lightning Vortex. I really like Lightning Vortex in any of the plant matchups because it's just a clean out to the Titanial. But so here I'm thinking that like, oh yeah, I contribute the Oyster for the Owie, maybe force a Raikou. I can dump this and like, or like swap to dump Treeborn, but kind of losing field presence, like kind of rather buffer the damage and have at least the chance of owing him next turn. This was a dandy, I mean, which makes sense. Like it's kind of unlikely that he would just set a Raikou into like frogs, but he has Wind Blast, which I mean, I know he played in the other version, but I know he's playing in this version, and I don't know exactly what his read was, but he's probably just going to hit the back row regardless, but it kind of fucks me here, right? Because now I don't get my token, he just gets to run this over, and I'm kind of turned behind, drawing the Owie. Plus he has this, luckily I have Vortex, so I'm chilling. But Let me pan back over the tier list real quick, just because people are horny for stuff like that. But yeah, Vayu, sub, Frog OTK, whatever. That's an easy S plus tier. Black Wings, Diva Hero B. This is all just normal stuff. Normal stuff you might expect. I don't really see what would be so crazy. But we Vortex. Oh my god, bruh. No one wants an accredited degree unless it's in Yu-Gi-Oh studies. So we're vortexing. I vortexed before. I summoned the Treeborn. I just, like, if he did Solemn, then I don't know. I have to think about what I want to do. But there was a reason, I think, like, I mean, yeah, I really just want to see what he was gonna do, I suppose. But I mean, it's not like he is very likely to have TT anyway or something. So I'm not exactly sure why I did that, but it probably just doesn't really matter either way. So I just dump. I feel like, he's only on 3 in hand, and his deck's obviously kind of bricky, so I'd rather not just give up my swap, and keeping the cards in hand for a Moray or the Fishborg Engrave. Like, I don't necessarily need to 2-for-1 myself just to rip a card. Unfortunately, like, it's not very likely I'm going to use the Owie on the Treeborn next turn because I have the Caius, but whenever the Owie does pop off, it'll work. So here, I draw the Coelacanth, which obviously very good draw. I pop that because I have the Fishborg Engrave, so anytime you have that, I mean, you can pitch to get it back and have the extra tribute fodder. I pitched the Caius here, thinking that basically, like, there's only a couple things that can stop this. I'm pretty sure it's not TT at this point, because, like, maybe he would have used it on the swap, but it could still be like a bottomless or something. But or also a roar. I kind of, in watching this back, I remember being like, damn, I could have gotten really destroyed by a roar here, but luckily we're chilling. But I basically, he's at 7,000 because I hit him with the swap earlier, so I know I can just go for my, like, Mistworm line, and I can set the Owie behind the Coelacanth and tribute that off. I was trying to figure out a way that maybe I could end with the token, but maybe there's an argument I could have kept the Caius instead of the Owie, because I really don't want to tribute the Coelacanth, but it's kind of unlikely. Like, I'm trying to think kind of what the worst case scenario here would be. Like, if I do Mistworm in and he roars, then probably Owie, like, would be the best thing I can do. And, like, then I just kill him with, I make, like, what, like, Android Worm here or something, or Catastrophe Worm, I don't know, or no, Armory. So, I mean, like, this would still be threatening 4,000 next turn, but maybe keeping the Caius in hand just in case of that. But it doesn't matter anyway, because he just scoops, and I worm everything, and he just has, like, honest trade in. Yeah, I noticed, I watched, he had a video of his, like, tournament run or whatever, and he was talking about, yeah, like, the Colossal Armory, like, double Armory or whatever wouldn't have worked on this, because he would have just, honest and, like, beckoning. But I mean, if he just honest the first attack, then I'm taking 37 or whatever, so it's like I'm not gonna swing into it again anyway, so the beckoning doesn't really matter. But yeah, honest does usually prevent Colossal Armory OTKs anyway, so I mean, yeah, like, I wasn't ever going for that there into back row also, because that also gets hurt by Dust Tornado. Why is this not going? How are we feeling? Our high octane stream. Lightning Vortex seemed to go crazy for you. Yes, Lightning Vortex. I almost thought about setting a second one. I was quite happy with it. Its performance every time I drew it. I mean, just Christie's and stuff like that are just hard matchups for this deck. So it's really just that and dragons and plants And I also bring in the frog mirror too. I think having, you know, a proactive out to Vanity's Fiend is quite good. It's kind of been performing better than I thought it would there. I feel like there's some other matchup I'm forgetting too, but yeah, I mean, anything I need to clear a bunch of monsters. Also against Blackwings, I've messed around with siding it in. Haven't really decided whether I think that's like very good or bad, but it's definitely like an option. Just clears the floodgate monsters too. I feel like I'm forgetting. Like, yeah, against Fairy, I think I sided in. I can't remember. That Fairy matchup is probably kind of nice. That would be a nice one to go in. Snack, who I know is on like Plant Cat. I scoped one of the replays. I think I get destroyed this game. Like, this is a tough spot because it's like I could do a couple things, you know? Like I could pitch dupe, send sub, salvage everything back, like normal summon the swap and try to, you know, go for like cold wave sub on the Treeborn next turn. But I decided just to play it kind of slow, like just kind of not wanting to commit more of my hand. But against this deck, I'm not really sure. Like I can do this next turn. If I need to pitch, like I won't have the protection of Cold Wave, but I don't necessarily want to do that anyway because her deck doesn't have a lot of ways to interrupt the sub stuff. I mean, maybe there's like Book of Moon, but that's pretty much all I have to worry about. So like, it's not like Blackwings where you're risking doing that into like a Royal Oppression. So she summons the Airbellum, which is pretty annoying. I mean, I was hoping like maybe she would commit to a cat or something. Not that it doesn't seem likely someone would do that if they knew I was playing Roar, but the Airbellum is definitely a problem. I mean, now I have the Braincon that can answer it a bit. And I draw sub, which is a great draw there actually. But the problem is like I need to clear the Airbellum, or I need to clear something, but I need to clear the Airbellum really. Because threatening Brionac next turn, not only that, but she's getting a Surge. So I can't Cold Wave because I need to use Brain Control more or less. I have no way of clearing this if I don't use the Brain. So I lead on sub. I'm trying to think why I did this exactly. I mean, just torrential really, right? Like, I think, and I was thinking like, you know, if she solemns this, then I would just have to brain this and make an armory or something. But, or maybe could special swap and go for some bigger plays. I maybe could even kill if I like salvage back, but just kind of testing here. I do this in this order, you know, I'm always like, I have a video on this that I'm about to put out, but basically always like milling the Treeborn first. And, yo, these ads are crazy. This is the drum and bass mix that Mika sent me that he used in my videos, but I should have probably downloaded the MP3. But anyway, yeah, like if I swap use effect here, which I think I do, it's risking a Book of Moon or something, or a Compulse maybe on the sub, but I can just brain the Airbellum, so I don't really care that much about that in this specific position. Like, it would be the same thing if I was setting up dupes, so I'd kind of rather use it, like, bait it out, to say. I just tribute off right away there. I don't try to swing with the Airbellum over Sangan, both because my sub is still in attack, so it would risk Mirror Force, but also, like, giving her the Sangan search just doesn't really seem ideal, you know, whether that's, like, Lone Fire or the Cat or whatever other card. I think she plays Debris as well, so like maybe that would be a problem. But that could have been a mistake. Like keeping the body off board would have been really good, but I think risking the force and also like even if it's just a simple battle trap like a Deep Prison, it could have left me in a bad spot. Also, there's a line here that I maybe could have gone for. Like I had the salvage, so I could have recurred some resources anyway. But I was thinking about doing this thing where I could like do what I did, but get swap and attack. So I'd have like Airbellum, swap, sub, and defense, and then I can swap crash, and it would be protected because of the substitute. So the Sangan would just die and she would get to search, but then I could potentially get a shot in with the Airbellum. But that's again just kind of like assuming that both these back rows are fake, which just seems like a wild thing to assume, like especially if, yeah, I don't know, that just seems like a very tough thing to put them on and not worth the risk, really. So I just do this, I salvage because I think there's, you know, a chance that I'm going to use the wave next turn, especially if I draw, obviously Coelacanth, but even like a fish board. But she just does insane plays here. I mean, as soon as she searched the Lone Fire, I was like, yeah, that probably has the dandy, and then it's probably going to get to recycle the call. So it's like pretty much curtains for me from this point. Cause yeah, like Lone, tight, Brio bounce, I'm taking like a billion points of damage. Avarice also comes down. I don't necessarily know if I would have done that if I were in her position. Like, but I guess one of these is probably gonna go to grave, so it's not like your call's gonna be dead. But like having the call to chain on the Sangan is kinda nice, but I mean, I don't know. Then I searched Uni here, which was like the only one I left in deck, because I had gotten the subs back. That was also like something I was planning on doing next turn, just going into the sub. But I take a shitload of damage, and I basically like, I mean the thing is, if I drew Coelacanth here, or maybe even if I drew Black Rose, or sorry, a Fishborg, I could have Black Rosed, but Coelacanth would have, I don't know about won me the game, but probably put me in a really good spot. I draw Creature Swap though. So I scoop, despite having like 9 cards in hand, or however many it was. But let's see. Bro, streaming is hard work. I gotta like fucking one man show over here. I have to look at all these different apps and tabs and keep things entertaining. But all right, I'm gonna tab back to the tier list because maybe people came for that too. But this is my tier list. It's stupid, but I felt like I had to do it. You know, I had to do it to him. Flip Dragon's way better than, I don't know, regular Lightsworn, whatever. Way better than Machina, better than Fairy. Yeah, sure, okay. But oh, that was the plant replay. So this is game 2 of Snack. I lead on. I normal sub, search, swap, send, and this is a great setup. Anytime you have like a piece of spell and trap removal, you know, I have a roar even in case she has the Airbellums and stuff, but I'm also set up for next turn if I want to pop off with the sub rather than go for the Coelacanth. I keep this on board. I probably am gonna use the roar regardless, so it doesn't really matter that I'm gonna be like forced into doing it to protect the swap. The only real downside of this, I mean, ironically, like later on, she ends up having Smashing Ground, but even that wouldn't necessarily matter. I would just recycle with the salvage. Like, it still gives me 2 targets, and I'm still able to get my Treeborn back. But maybe like a Mind Con or a Brain Con could let her extend in a way that like I otherwise wouldn't want her to, you know? But it's just this, and so she ends, and I go end main 1, because that's how you have to do it to make sure to use the roar so I can get my Treeborn back. Like, getting the Treeborn back just make sure that I would have like value. Like I could go into Coelacanth a different way, but like if I'm gonna not necessarily end the game, but just put myself in a really good spot with the roar, with the Coelacanth anyway, like I don't necessarily need the roar. But I do it this way, like revive tree, like declare effect. You know, I usually just declare effect in case they want to crow it, just so it's a little more clear. But then I chain because if, like, first of all, because I roared, she obviously knows I'm going to try to go for Coelacanth. There's no reason that I would neg myself just for no reason. So, like, obviously I'm setting up for a double tribute. So there is a world, and plus I normal swap and set roar behind it. So obviously I'm setting up to keep the bodies on board. But I think there's a world in which she would potentially torrential on the Treeborn summon. Also like compulse or stuff like that. So I think just like MSTing on the chain is fine. But then she decides to use the crow, which I don't really know if I fully understand that sequence from her. Like I do, but it kind of feels like if you were gonna use the crow, you probably should have just used it. But maybe now that I committed and that you know for sure that I'm going for Coelacanth, you just decide you want to prevent it by any means. But I do think there's some legitimacy to like holding crow against this deck, because sometimes if I don't think you'll have crow, I'll go for like a slightly extended combo where I'm pitching stuff for Fishborg, and if you did save the crow, then it could leave me in an overall worse spot. No, I'm not saying that's what would have happened here. I don't think I ended up using the Fishborg effect, but just in general, I mean, like there maybe is some merit to doing that. But yeah, so like even though the Treeborn gets crowed, I'm still able to field 2 monsters. I just have to like bounce back. This is honestly a nice little play, because it's like I get back tree sub, right? And instead of, there's 2 different things I can do to field the monster, because I bounce back the swap already, so I can normal the tree, tribute for the seal, and then pitch. But this just like baits the second crow slightly better. I don't know if I necessarily had to do that here, but I don't know. That's why I did it in this way. Like she can still crow this, and then I can still normal the tree, and like both those cards are getting discarded anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But this just baits crow a little better. I mean, if I did that, then I would have pitched the brain. So maybe doing it in the way that just normaled the tree would have been better. But obviously she doesn't have a second crow. Like that would have been used way earlier. I think that there's maybe some arguments to what I would have made here, but
This is where your story begins.
yeah, I mean, I also keep the brain in hand. This is just like a pretty standard board I go to. Obviously, it just like provides a huge amount of pressure, assuming she doesn't have gores. So this Raikou, she just mills, like fuels avarice, but hitting the mind is also pretty good for me, because like a big way that she might come back on this board is Colossal, and that's also part of the reason I wanted to keep the brain con. But Colossal is pretty much gonna ruin me. Sometimes I make Catastrophe here, just like in case of Goyo or something, but I feel like like it's really just like brain or finding a way to like ladder into a Colossal, but I don't remember what she ends up. Oh yeah, I remember this turn now. Yeah, this is the smashing ground turn. So basically, oh no, that's next game. That's next game. My bad. Yeah, I think I just basically win the game from here, cause like, yeah, I topped the Caius, and that's just gonna be game. Like she had was sitting on double avers, so yeah, like pretty slow against this deck. I think it was this game where I was trying to think maybe whether I would put Crow in. I think that was it, because like if you're having multiple averaces, I can't remember if it was you or maybe the person you played round 1 that had the limit reverse. I think that might have been that guy, but I don't think you're playing limit reverse. But I was thinking about putting in the Crow, but then I was like, honestly, like avarice is probably a card that should be sided out in this matchup. It's just kind of too slow, but I don't know. I don't know if I could say that one way or another. So this is honestly a pretty bad hand, especially against a turn 1 tight. Like, if I get enough turns, which is really just 2 turns, I can like, before I drew the Vortex, obviously, I could have just like swapped Sentry, you know, bounce it, and then plan on like Coelacanth next turn. But that would leave me really open to like an Airbellum or Cat. I basically know that next turn I can do all this crazy coelacanth stuff. So I'm happy to spend this turn trying to just remove the back row, which is bottomless. She doesn't negate, which I think there's probably no reason to negate there. Like, I don't know, maybe if you didn't have any other back row you could consider it, but then I bounce the swap back because that's basically my combo piece. I don't vortex just because I might need to clear 2 monsters next turn. Like, I don't really care about taking the 24 here. Like, I assume this Unifrog would have gotten swung over either way. So taking the extra damage doesn't necessarily matter. Could have been enough, and like, if she does something like this, then maybe the vortex could be useful. She happened to have the debris anyway, so the Stardust is going to make the vortex not very useful. But in all honesty, like, this next turn is kind of complicated, you know, like, so one thing here is like the Titanial is going to negate the Armory, so while normally in this position I would probably go for a Armory Colossal line, I can't do that. I can't equip the Armory to my own coelacanth either, and there's all these tokens on the field. So there's a couple different things I could do here. Obviously all of them are bruh. These guys be having ads. Anyway, it's always going to start with specialing the swap, tributing for the coelacanth, and that would leave me a Vortex Storm in hand. And there's, I think, a pretty legitimate argument to coelacanth over the Stardust, and then main phase 2 just Vortex everything. It gets rid of all the tokens. Then, assuming the coelacanth survive, which is maybe a lot to assume, then you can go for the coelacanth next turn. But you also just can clear most of the board by doing what I did. Mistform also is not really going to work because it targets. So here, I think I did basically the right thing. You know, like, I saw on stream they were talking about, like, I could have pitched and made Red Dragon, but first of all, that does get hit by Crow, and I think, and once again, like, the main way that she might crack back is making a Colossal, which, like, I end up leaving the 2 tokens, so something like a Cat into double Airbellum would let her do that. And, like, I might need the Vortex to clear it, as well as just, like, any crackback that she might do. This answers the threats. So, you know, the spell and trap threats, especially because I think I end up making a Stardust, are not going to be that useful. Also, she clearly has no back row. Like, she set the bottomless turn 1, and then, like, any back row that's actually real you would have set behind the Stardust. Probably even back row that's not real. So, pretty easy to interpret that. So then it's like I'm relying on her top decking a back row that's actually going to be a threat. So that there's no reason to keep the Storm, I feel. What do I end up doing here? I declare Tongu effect. You gotta do that. Yeah, this makes sense. I mean, I could have made like a Goyo. Could have made a 7 and a Goyo. But then I can't kill the Titanium without crashing. So this just leaves all my guys on board basically. Just like pretty clean line. Keeps the Stardust in case of Debris Dragon. Like, one thing that Debris Dragon can also make is Red Dragon, which is not particularly good in this scenario. Like, it would kill the tokens, probably have to kill the Stardust, but I would want the Vortex to be able to run over it, or kill it rather. I don't know. Although in that case, like, I could probably just like coelacanth for 2, but whatever. And be able to kill the Red Dragon is my point. But regardless, smashing comes down. I think for a minute on whether to negate that or not. Obviously, Snack like knows that I can negate it. So anytime someone does something like that, I feel like I have to just give pause to think like, well, why actually, you know, are they baiting me? Like, what is happening, you know? But I decided I should still negate because, like, yeah, like making sure that I get the Stardust back for next turn, like at least that means that even if they do crack this, then I'll be able to Vortex Stardust it, Vortex with the Stardust on board and probably like mount enough of a comeback with that. So the Ryo crashes, and I'm like a little bit confused. I mean, when she summoned the Ryo, I was like, is there a Honest for some reason? Like, what is happening here? But then once the Crow got used, and I realized that there were, you know, it's like stages of grief or something. It's like the Ryo gets crashed, and I go to check the grave, and I'm like, all right, are there 5 monsters? Okay, there are already 5 monsters. And then I'm like, well, wait, but what's happening? And then she used the Crow, and I was like, oh, there weren't light darks. Okay, so the Sork is obviously coming down as the last card in hand, and the Crow hit the Stardust. So this honestly is like a not. I mean, she made the best play. Like, put herself in a position that if I didn't have an answer to the Sork, then it maybe could have run wild here. But I draw Substitute, which is honestly a phenomenal draw. Like, anything could have just gotten pitched for Vortex, but this actually lets me do it at plus, like by using the Treeborn on the field. So I decided to do it in this way, leaving the sub up for next turn. I mean, if she's forced to just summon something and swing over the sub, like my Catastrophe can probably kill it. And if she doesn't do that, then I'm just getting the Treeborn back anyway. The only thing is like Torrential, but I think this is definitely the best thing to do here. The only other option would have been like keeping Swap on the field and bouncing whatever else, but I think this is better. I still have a Duprog in deck, I believe, at this point. Or 2 Duprogs? 3 Duprogs? Some not Duprogs. There's also some merit to like tributing. I think this is what I thought about doing too, where I could tribute the Treeborn for a dupe, tribute the sub for a swap, pounce the pop the dupe, get back Unifrog or whatever, you know, and pitch that and still not be forced to keep the Swap Frog face up. But I still think that like getting the value of the sub is better than potentially pushing for a little extra damage with the Swap Frog. So I do get back the thing here. I just make dupe. I don't want to summon into the Mirror Force, so I just hit for 22 or Torrential. I kind of like, I do this here just like, alright, are you sure you don't want a Torrential? Because like, if you do that, then I can probably just kill with Special Swap or whatever. But there's no Torrential. I also just summoned this. The Fishboard got banished. But I think this was maybe a slight misplay because, like, even though I was trying to bait the TT off the dupe, like, I think it's pretty clear it wasn't TT. So I think I could have just summoned the Oyster, kept the sub in defense, and then swung. And if she did Mirror Force, which she did have, then I would get the token and I would tribute that for the Substitute instead of just the tributing itself. So I would have sub dupe dupe instead of dupe dupe token. But ends up not really mattering. She draws a dead card and I just kill here. Exact 28. Kind of clean. So pretty decent game. I enjoyed it. Where are we at now? Carpath. This was kind of a long one. I feel like this might be like more complicated decision making or something. Carpath, you know, much respect for the content, brother. But let's see. So I win roll again. Let's get it. I guess I'm 2-1 in rolls, right? Because I think Snack won. This is a great hand. I do something. I'm not gonna say it's stupid here. It definitely didn't work out. And as I was thinking about what I was gonna do, I was like, am I just like being a fucking troll and like throwing completely? So I don't know what you guys would do here, but I can almost guarantee you it's not what I did, which is, you know, I know he's on Chaos Fairies also. So I just set Oystermeister, and I think for a while here, but like a more standard play would be sub for swap, dump, or just set dupe. I could even set the roar behind this, but I don't like, you know, being forced essentially to use my roar that early. I just committed to the boards, and it's gonna lock my Treeborns. I'm gonna have to use it before I can use the Gores, etc. But I just set this because next turn it could be a really powerful play with my substitutes. Like, my whole thing is I really like to bait the heralds. You know, like in a normal matchup, I would have easily gone sub for swap, send Treeborn, bounce the swap back, and plan on just killing next turn. Despite there potentially being back row, but I would most likely have gone for that. But because they play the heralds, I really just you can't really afford to risk the coelacanth into the herald. So I just set this thinking that I can sub next turn. Like if he just sets a recruiter, whatever, then I can get a lot of value there. And I mean, really, my thought process is from his perspective, there really can't be that much that he's gaining value from attacking. You know, like this is a dupe frog or a treeborn, right? Like you would assume. So it seems like normal summon recruiter or an alchemist. I guess warrior lady he is summoning there. So this is probably just like a bad play, but I thought there was a good chance like he wouldn't attack. I think the warrior lady does kind of tilt it. I wasn't really thinking about that at the time, but it's kind of a gambit. Let's say I thought he was gonna set a monster. He didn't. He just summons Nova Summoner. I feel stupid, but luckily my hand is like good enough that I felt like I could also afford to take that risk. I mean that's a part of it too. If my hand was like absolute dog water and I would have just set the dupe and been done with it, but I felt like I could afford to take a risk in this hand. I draw 1/1, which is like obviously psycho insane. So what do I do here? I go swap, sub, and then dump that. I just bounce it. I wanted to leave the board for the gores so that like I wanted to try to bait the herald with the gores so that next turn I could like 1/1 and potentially coelacanth in. I think that was what I wanted to do here. And I mean obviously this just gets the tree in the grave with the swap, but yeah, I mean I wasn't gonna go for 1/1 here. I'm just trying to think whether I would have set dupe, but I think this kind of sets me up better. It like lets me be a little more proactive. So I do gores on this, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But he doesn't herald. So that doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't have herald, but either way, like I'm getting value because like the thing is if he doesn't herald on one of these subs, then this coelacanth is almost irrelevant. Like I'm just getting so much value that like his herald isn't gonna matter by that point. I'm gonna be too far ahead. So I do this sequencing stuff. This was like I don't know, potentially messed up because I could have. No, I think this is fine, but I was probably gonna end up keeping. What was I gonna end up doing? No, I mean I guess this is fine. I was thinking like whether I should have attributed this for the other dupe first, but because this happens, which is kind of annoying, but it's honestly not even that annoying. Like he drops Trag and he would have been able to swing over the dupe and then Nova swing over the uni, but that's not even really that bad for me. So I mean it's better to set the roar, but it's not really that necessary even. So I mean by this point I gotta be pretty sure he doesn't have the herald. So I'm just trying to figure out the best way to go for my play. I understand that he has 4 in hand, so there is a chance that he top decked the herald, but I can sort of test that as well with this sub. So I do this, I'm doing these plays. You know, again, maybe he would have heralded the sub, maybe not. But I also do all this, like I bounce back the gore, so even if he does herald here, which the herald not only would obviously stop one of these plays, but it would put him at too few cards in hand to do the armory. But all that being said, like I'm quite sure he doesn't have herald by this point, so it doesn't really matter. And I just colossal armory the hell out of him. And like even through all this, I'm like maybe there's still a herald, so I'm like doing this in like slow-mo, basically. But crash, easy. So now game 2. Is this okay, by the way? Is this too fast paced? Am I going crazy here? Am I tripping? Hope not. Drop a like, you know? Drop a comment. Drop a thumbs up emote. It's been a tough week for James Ark, you know? I lost. I went 3-2 in Rulers. Accused a guy of being a pedophile that was wrong about. What happened? I don't know. This guy keeps spamming my face as an emo. It's like, it's a tough world out here. The James Ark haters are out in full force, to be honest. But nonetheless, we keep persevering and teaching you guys about fish combos, and you know, we get a temporary break from my living hell because this hand is like insane. Like, I don't know, it's like couldn't ask for a better hand, especially with the salvage. So what do I do here? I'm pretty sure I just set Snowman. Oh no, I do this. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, setting up the tree one. Like, I can also just, like, this hand is so good that, yeah, okay, I remember now. Because, like, I can set Snowman and play, like, a short-term value game. Also, like, there's a decent chance he's gonna know that I side in Snowman, so there's these various elements of, like, knock or, like, War Lady that would take the body off the field, and I don't really have to be worried about trading, like, cards out of his hand, because I just have so much engine that, like, I would rather just use those cards to generate pluses. Like, he can't do anything to me after I already get the dupe block step and stuff, so I don't really need to be worried about, like, trading down. And I can keep the Snowman as, like, an out to, like, a Dinah or, like, a Christia. I don't know if he plays Dinah, but you know what I'm saying. Just anything problematic. I bounce this, and, like, I also know he's probably spooked about Gores from game 1. That's, like, something I do pretty often. If I Gores you in game 1, I'm gonna act like I have Gores in game 2, and you're gonna fall for it, because you're stupid. No, I'm just kidding. But that is something that I'm pretty conscious of. So we get back to tree. I'm trying to, yeah, but I have the sub already, so I leave that. I mean, the 1-for-1 obviously is just like not tied to my normal summon, so it can be a little more flexible if I want to use it later on. I can also search a Fishborg, so even if the sub went through, then I would still have like value from it. But he does this, and I wouldn't say exactly I bait him, like, but I do know that, like, in some situations I might not use the swap effect right away, but because I know that even if he has an interrupt, like a book or a compulse, or a TT even, like, I'm just gonna have follow up with the 1-for-1 next turn. So I just do all this stuff, and like, as you can see here, I'm also holding the Moray through all this. Like, the thing about holding Moray is, like, you have to think about what you're trying to draw into and what you're putting back, right? So it's like, in this case, like, even if I had Morayed this turn 2 turns ago, like, if I had drawn a Coelacanth, I probably wouldn't have gone for it. I was probably going for this play, you know? Like, I was gonna try to bait a Herald with the sub stuff and then draw into the Coelacanth later on. So sometimes what I'll do, and especially in this situation where I'm thinning my deck of all the frogs, and then I can Moray, and even potentially, like, let my lot get broken, let a dupe go to grave, and then salvage it back and sub and make a second dupe block. Most decks can't really deal with, like, you setting up dupe block twice in one game. But yeah, I mean, I'd rather thin my deck and then be Moraying, so I'm not just redrawing into all the frogs. That's my thought process here. And like, I also kind of sometimes wait to draw into the fish so I can put them back. That sounds kind of, like, I know that's not really how, like, math works, but yeah, here, like, I could have used it here, it might have been okay. I'm trying to think what I left in deck. I think I sided out Unifrog just because he's on Decree, so I know that, like, his sideboard slots for back row are gonna be pretty limited. I didn't find it very likely he was gonna side, like, Rugs or, like, Oppression or something. He does find TT Book, but obviously he's not finding any monsters, so, like, I'm thinking he's stuck on a hand of the Chaos Sorcerers or Christias. I get this back, and I can't remember if he TTs here. I just use this for the second dupe. He doesn't TT, and now like, that was the last frog I had in deck, I'm pretty sure. So now I'm comfortable, like, turboing a little bit, because you saw I had multiple swap frogs in hand. and you know, this is a fine position. I'm not really in any danger of losing, but getting somewhat close to my win con, you know, finding back row removal. I saw him mention in his thing, like, should I have stormed here? But you gotta understand that, like, when I summon swap here, he flipped it before I could declare if I was using the effect, but I obviously was not gonna use it. Both subs engrave, and yeah, there's no reason to use it. There's just the swap frog left in deck at this point, and I'd rather keep the sub with the double dupe up as just an added layer of protection. But him TTing here, I'm like, fine, you know? I want to keep the storm for the turn that I'm gonna go off. So giving him the opportunity to like reset more back row, in addition to having to deal with the herald and stuff, is not gonna be what I want to do. And it's also just like, what can you do? Like, yeah, like the TT breaks my lock there, but I'm gonna set Snowman next turn. Like, even if he summons a beater this turn, like I have even a Regeki break to protect myself. Like, there's just so little I think that he could have done at like any point in this game that would have actually threatened me. He does this, I just decide that I'd rather not take the damage, and there's like some fringe situations, you know, like where if I do set the Snowman next turn or whatever I'm gonna do, then he can Caius me, and like it could just get a little out of control tempo wise. Not super likely for any of that to happen, but like that's just what sorry, I'm reading the part where Tarantulas were out asking if you use prayer on stuff. It was weird, but I think that was just like, I don't want to say nerves, but like, I don't know why he did that. First piece of advice if you will picking up the deck for the first time. I don't know, watch this video, watch the VODs, you know? No, I think just thinking through all your actions, I mean, it's kind of like level 1, you have to learn how to do all the fish stuff, like when to get what, and the different end boards you can make, so you're not wasting a lot of time. And then, like, once you learn how to do the OTK stuff really effectively, then I feel like you can think about how to play it. Like, I definitely don't play it as a control deck, that's just like not the style of deck it is, but I mean, you can see pretty clearly, like, I am playing for advantage, I am playing for, you know, normal gameplay, so to speak, so I feel like that's probably the next thing you have to practice. And then all the other little stuff that I do, like when to keep the swap on board, or when to bounce it to hand, or when to mill 2 swaps instead of 1, and when to set the roar, keep it in hand, or when to use the moray versus hold it. Like, those are all little things that you just have to practice with the deck to. And I think probably if I saw anyone do it, I would say they're doing it differently than me. Because I don't know if I've necessarily like solved it for myself as far as like knowing how to do those things correctly every time. And sorry, Jake the Snake, what are your thoughts on the meta? You know, I'm glad you asked. Brief break here while we get into this end game of the car path. But I made a fancy little tier list over here. We got Vayu S+, Combo Frogs S+. I don't know who thought of that. That guy must be crazy. Blackwing, Diva Hero B, Hybrid Blackwing. I don't know about this. Big Cat Lasters. I don't know about this one. I kind of feel like I might rather play Hybrid than regular right now, but I don't have like a good list, and obviously the results of Hybrid have not been that good lately. But I just feel like it could be kind of nice. Like, it seems maybe better into Frogs. Like, just a little faster. Like, I think Hybrid is not that bad into Vayu. You know, just little things. Against Dragon Turbo, gonna put some pace. Like, maybe we'll build a little Hybrid Blackwing after this. But yeah, something like this. Fish up here. Christia Sworn. I did beat Christia Sworn in the top 4 of the Time Wizards, so that's why Fish is above. You know, it's a 1-0 matchup spread right now, so Christia Sworn got to do better. Yeah, Diva Hero I still put pretty highly. I don't know, that deck just like always OTKs me, even though that deck like should suck. It just like always kills me, so I don't know. I guess it's good. Dragon Turbo, gotta respect it, even though I don't really understand that deck. I think it breaks too much. The zombie stuff, these could probably be lower, but I put them high just because I like them. I think there's a lot of potential there. Flip Dragon, Fuck Dragon 2, sure, throw it in there. But yeah, this is sort of where my head's at the moment. Might be different from some other people's, but just kind of the vibrations that I'm working off of. But back to Carpath, back to the demise of Carpath. RIP, put him in a coffin. Yeah, I did this because of the Kaya stuff and just not wanting to get out of control. And also like make sure I get the Treeborn back next turn so that I'll have an additional layer of protection, or if I draw, you know, Seal Cancel later. He sets into the storm. Yeah, he forgot to banish, but I just bring this back, set the thing. This is also like, you know, getting this back here, this may sound like such a niche thing, but it is like legitimately stuff that I think about. Like getting it out of grave, like it clearly doesn't have monsters to summon. So yeah, it does put it on field for him to DD War Lady, but it stops him from soul releasing me without another monster. And like he milled the second monster here, so I'm also a little conscious of like return into tribute summon Christia, but I have the snowman anyway. I have brain, so like I'm pretty sure that I can get there regardless, so I don't need to like preemptively storm. This is a spot I probably could have thought of going off, because even if I get heralded, I'm not really in that bad of a spot. But I decide, hey, I can just wait. I can just force with this, swing. He books, which I was like, okay. Like, I mean, he didn't know I had storm, so I was like kind of confused by that, but you know, go off. I draw this, which you know, I have to be conscious of. I only have 4 fish left in deck. I play 6 fish total, so it's Borg, Tongyo, Oyster. So what am I trying to say? The boards that I can make off that are, well, more limited and different than if I had these guys in deck. So, you know, he found the monster finally. And again, just because I don't want to get Caius, I don't want to get like double tribute Christia set up. So I storm here. I just start to make some plays. Like if he were to herald this, I don't know why you'd ever herald the snowman, but you know, then I could pop off. I do this little fun maneuver, which honestly, like the thing is, if he swings over the swap, I have brain anyway. So normally, like having the swap in my hand would be pretty valuable, but now I have like recycled out to Christia if he does have it, and he's also low. So like the fact is now Christia is not even going to be a problem because I can just brain summon the oyster. Bounces back, and I think this is the last turn of the game, right? Because oh no, I just set that again. I don't have a Borg engrave yet, so now, you know, with bouncing the honest back, I can't brain it, so I could hit him with the oyster, but if I ever use oyster or like put a guy up, then he can crash, make the Christie alive. So don't really want to do that, because I would also like, he would recycle the herald. As of right now, I'm still like unsure of whether he has the herald, I guess. So but so I misclicked there. He does end phase call, like, I mean, I guess he knows I plays TT or something, but, and maybe trap stun, but the end phase, I don't know if that really made sense. But I figure he's gonna set up for some like tribute summon or synchro play. So I preemptively owie. I actually like forget something here, because like what he's gonna try to do was herald synchro with this. He can pitch to either bouncing mine or bouncing the call, or I mean he can pitch the Caius and bounce the call, it doesn't really matter. And then special to Christia, get back herald or honest. So Brio Christia hit me for a lot. I still probably beat him because he's not gonna have any like a live herald left in hand. But I don't know, I just decided to do it this way. I probably could have like thought ahead a little bit to know that I was just gonna win regardless. But anyway, I hit the Christia. It just means that his only play here is to like, there's really nothing else to hit because he has doubles of everything and the honest doesn't do anything, so nothing really else to hit. But he can herald Brianag bounce the call, pitching the Caius probably. I think that would kind of put him in a good spot, even though in this particular situation it still would have I think lost him the game. Maybe there's a world that like if he really thinks this is Snowman, he could hit into it, but I guess I could pop itself. I don't know. The snowman kind of makes it difficult for him too. But anyway, none of this really matters. I hit the Christia and he doesn't even go for the Brainiac thing, which he probably should have, but if that didn't matter either, so it just, you know. Anyway, that's Carpath. Love the guy. Check out his channel. We're cooking right through the replay review. But that was the highlight reel. That was the James Arc highlight reel. Now we're getting into the dark forest of me losing. I feel like you guys might not really understand the degree, like, this is gonna sound a little bit arrogant and potentially stupid. Sorry, there's a siren outside. But I don't really lose to normal shit. Like, I play in a way that really buffers myself from losing to like common cards and like known sideboard plans and things like that. So the vast majority of the time that I lose is like to some bullshit. And I know it just sounds stupid. Like, obviously everyone loses to bullshit, but like some of the losses that I have, I feel like are very, very unlikely compared to other people's. Just because I play so much, and so like, I don't know, the normal games, like I know how to win those, but the bad games, let's call them, those stick with me. For the guy asking, this was the tier list. Eat your heart out. It's a banger, right? Bro, who fucking with the tier list? Who fucking with the tier list? Drop a chat. Drop a I'm fucking with the tier list in the chat. Did I put normal hero beat too low? Guys, what happened? Guys, oh no, did I put Gemini too high? Oh, did I underrate Quick Draw Machina? Uh-oh, like, oh no, my Diva hero is at the middle of A instead of the bottom of A. Who fucking cares? This shit is all stupid, but at the same time, I know y'all love it, so, you know, enjoy. But anyway, Zabo, a little backstory on Zabo. We're taking a little story time here. Hashtag story time with James. Basically, Zabo is a character that I have encountered over a year ago, like a year and a half ago, and I am a huge fan of Zabo. I am #1 Zabo enjoyer. This is a Zabo fan stream because I played Zabo in unrated or something. Like, I think it was shortly Format Library had been going and all that, but I was just like testing maybe on an alt or something, and I play against Zabo, and he's playing like very classic like Machina Gadget, and he scrapes me. He just scrapes the shit out of me, and I was mad. As I'm describing now, I don't lose to normal shit, so he got really lucky. But I was mad, but I looked back at it and I was like, yo, this guy played clean. Although I think he did cheat me a little bit, because I remember I like contacted with something that had a Peacekeeper on it, and he was like, no, I still searched, and I was like, all right. But this guy, and he cooked me, and I messaged him after, because I looked at the replay and I was like, actually, this guy did a number of plays that were sort of unconventional and were really good when I thought about them. And it takes a lot for me to feel that way about someone. So I messaged him and I was like, hey man, what's your deal? Like, who are you? And we started talking, and I asked him if he could send me the gadget list that he was using, because it just seemed like it had good ratios. I think this is the one playing Creature Swap. And so he told me that he is the guy, he's friends with the guy who topped the YC SGC Edison in 2010. Let's see. You'll see what I'm talking about. His name is like Emery, I think. No, this is not what I want. This is not what I want. This is gonna piss me off. Machina Gadget, Enya, yes. So this crazy ass list with their 2 fortress That was the thing they were into. Just less bricks, triple creature swap, triple solidarity. Just beat your face in, ultimate offering pressure, maxing on the best traps, like just some real deal shit. And like, but I also noticed that like I asked about this list, and he was like, yeah, it's basically the same as that list. I built that with him. Like that's my friend, whatever. And I was like, all right. But then when I thought about it, I was like, but you had like defissure in the side, so obviously like you had updated it a little bit. So this guy didn't want to give away his little secrets to me, which I also found annoying. Triple nobleman also crazy. I think I was just playing value, and like obviously this deck like smokes the shit out of value. So I built what I thought his deck looked like, maybe with some slight changes, and I played it in some money tournaments, and I won all of them. I was like having great results with this deck, and I was like, damn, people are sleeping on Machine Gadget. That's why we put it. Yo, just for this guy, I'm putting Machine Gadget up a tier. Who cares? At this point, who cares? But I was like, damn, Machine Gadget may be actually kind of the sauce, and I still feel like it's the sauce, mainly due to Zavo. But he went and topped the the Marina Valley, whatever it is, the RBT that Keegan hosted, with basically that list. Like, I'm pretty sure it had creature swaps in it. I know it was a little different than this, but he went and topped with that same list, and I'm like, dude, this guy's just the GOAT. He doesn't participate in any Discord bullshit. I think he said this was the first Discord tournament he played in. He said that in the RBT server. And yeah, he's just kind of a legend, enigma of a guy. Huge fan of Zabo, and he's a very good player. I mean, I actually do feel that Zabo is a very good player. I fuck with him, and he's on zombies today. I knew he was on zombies, but can we just say, let's be for real. Look at this guy's hand. What's his sixth card? Anyone want to guess what his sixth card is? We'll take a poll. Sound off in the chat what you think this guy's sixth card is. But anyway, this is a hand where I could Moray, but I really want the guaranteed Treeborn access, and having Treeborn access with a monster to set, like I could Moray and I could draw into a sub or a swap, but that would more or less require me to go, sub send send the Treeborn, bounce it back. I would probably want to bounce it back, but he can just punish with a Reaper, an Urbellum, any of these little things. So I wanted to also book a life if he can make it live turn one. So I didn't necessarily want to do that. I thought setting the Treeborn would be best, and I figured I'd probably just draw into another water. If I can draw into another fish and put that back as well, that's good. So I just do this. 6 card, Goblin Zombie. Obviously it's fucking Goblin Zombie. Jesus, like, what is this? This is insane. Like, this is an insane hand. Not normal hand. Insane hand. But anyway, Zabo. So he teleports. I don't even know, like, some of the stuff I'm like, I don't even know if I would have done it this way, but like, sure, go off. And he Mizuki bounces like as you would, and hits me. No fear of Gores, just literally 0 fear. I mean, he has crackback next turn, but like still. I draw this, which again, like, I'm reluctant to Moray here, although here maybe I should have, but kind of the same thing. Like, I really want to make sure that I have Treeborn access, and giving it up here doesn't really seem ideal to me. But this is like probably the only point where I'm like, I could have done it differently. Then he has fucking Tragodia. Like, I could have bounced back my tree. Like, I could have done so much different shit. Like, I could have given him the Oyster and pitched the tree to bounce back the Oyster. You see what I'm saying? So still the tree ends up engraved, and I'm hitting for 23 instead of 22. But that plays harder into Gores, but I just do it this way, and I get fucked up by Tragodia. Like, why do you have the damn Tragodia on top of all this? And now, because he has so much follow-up, and like, he could have a Caius and steal this back, and I'm forced to bounce it basically, and now I'm like, alright, I'm just getting rid of this fucking Moray. It's really between pitching a Moray and pitching the Oyster, and it's like, if I pitch the Oyster, and the Moray's certainly not going to be live, so I have to get stuck with this Oyster in hand. And now I'm kicking myself. And he drops the instant, and this turn is insane. He makes fucking Psychic Life Transfer. Why does he play Psychic Life Transfer? I don't know. How do you have room for that? I don't know. I guess it fixes your graveyard for Dad also, but which literally comes up, in this game. Because I'll let you guess what his next draw is. It's not a fucking another goblin zombie, I'll tell you that much. But he gets back the Reaper, hits over, hits me direct, hits a Caius, which is annoying. Like, obviously I would have rather him hit the Oyster, but it's fine. Prio, use MST. I draw 1-for-1, which is a good draw, obviously, but I have to clear the Reaper in order to do anything with it. I mean, there's a world here where it's nothing particularly good. Like, if I'm trying to 1-for-1 this turn, it's not really worth it. So I basically do this, crash, don't want to leave him with the body, and know he has Dragon Hand, all that. I know he's Plague Engrave too, but top deck's Reaper. Now this is insane. Like, you understand the sequence of events in this game, like, are just him drawing like insane card after insane card, like perfect cards with Gore Strike. Like, this was insane. And you know, Zavo, I love you. I'll sing your praises any day. But like, Jesus Christ. And he hits the 1-for-1, so I can't even draw on their monster. Luckily, I kind of get lucky and draw a substitute myself, you know. But it gives and it takes. But I go for this. He has the Plague Engrave, so he can always, like, if I make dupe sub, he can always stack and make a Catastor. Maybe it was correct to go dupe sub anyway, but Caius also really damages me, let's say. So I just go double dupe. I also want to kind of get the maximum thinning, just so. I guess I didn't send a swamp for some reason. I don't know why I did that. Oh, I keep one sub and swap dupe, because if I draw the sub again, then I can kind of make use of it. And like, normal summoning dupe is obviously fine. I don't know if that's fully correct, but he draws Dark Armed here. And then I draw this, and I think whether I bring back the Treeborn for a while, this honestly takes me a while. I probably should have got a slow play warning or something, but I'm trying to figure out if I can kill him through Trag, and you know, with Armory and with these various things. But the answer is I basically can't. You know, I was also trying to figure out a way to do it through Gores, because the way he'd been playing, there's a chance he had Gores. I don't know if I would say I made the best play here, because I also thought he could have Dark Arm. I mean, I wasn't putting him on these exact three, that's crazy, but Gores and Dark Arm were like two cards that he could be holding here that he wouldn't commit to the board, yada yada yada. And I don't know, like, this little, someone might be able to solve this dual puzzle and figure out I did something wrong, because I thought about it for a while, and I thought about it for a while afterwards, and I'm pretty sure I can't kill him. Because I also have the Oyster in hand. I don't know, it's like now coming back to it a day after, maybe I don't know what I could have done, and I think anything I do was gonna lose the Dark Armed anyway. Because like, the thing is, even if I hit and then he's forced to drop Gores or Trag, then he is going to stack for Plague next turn and put him back at 3, which would have just cracked whatever board I made. There's like a play I could have done here where I literally thought about going like Stardust Coelacanth with the token, and like with Duprog or something, and that could have been better, but he has so many draws, like also with getting the Plague, and yeah, it's hard. So I end up doing this thing. I bounce this back, I hit with Urbel, and I lock his draw. So basically, like, if he didn't have Dark Armed in hand right here, then he would have just probably lost. I mean, next turn he can set the Reaper. It gets a little dicey for me. So I don't know if this was the best line either, but I don't think I could have killed him. I'm not sure. In normal Frog Monarchs, the same level, if not a bit better than Hero Frogs. You know, I didn't put normal Frog Monarchs on there. I probably should have. That's probably like a good shout. I actually, hold on. I think we got a loose substitute down here. That's not gonna be That's not going to be pure frogs. That's going to be regular frog monarch. And where are we going to put that? Is it? Would you say better than frog hero? No, that's fucking insane. That's crazy. But I think it might be like better than junk frog. I feel like junk frog is just kind of maybe junk frog's fine. I don't know. It's in here somewhere. I'm gonna say in here. Maybe it's way better than that. I don't know. I'm gonna drop it in there. All the frog shit is like here. I think it's only good because like people metagame so hard for the hero frogs that they sometimes just get blown out by the like oppression's not that good against regular frog. So he we have like some dispute there, but it doesn't matter because he's just gonna kill me anyway with plague and magical android. Game 2, Aside Crow. Against like the more combo oriented versions, I don't mind having more defense. Obviously he has the Reaper to fucking punish. Like you can consider setting Roar there, but it just locks your tree, so it's like they have to have specifically this stuff, and he does, so it's a really annoying matchup. I draw multiple pieces of back row removal. I'm not gonna say I got lucky, but I feel like at this point I very much thought I was not gonna win this game. Because he just has so much gas. Like I have to you're forced to not set the Roar because otherwise you're just gonna lose too much value. But if he has like a Book of Life at any of these points, he's banishing the other tree. Like it's curtains. I don't really know why he sided in Snowman though. That's kind of wild. What happens here? A Storm. I don't remember if I sided out Unifrog or not, but I think this is because I want to set the Roar. Yeah. Okay. And obviously I'm sitting here like if I can just draw the damn Coelacanth, then I am Gucci. I don't wave here because I'm thinking like the TT got popped, so I'm thinking if I probably this backer is not going to threaten me very much, and I want to be able to use the Roar potentially if he has like Goblin Plague. This happens, you know, I don't think he does actually, I think, play 2 Compulse. I don't know if he kept him in this matchup, but I don't actually have that much shit left to search, I think this is all. I think I side out a dupe. He just slams the MST, which it's a good thing that I have the Roar, because if I think he had game, right? He would have flipped Snowman, hit that, Gale, Brio bounce, Mizuki get, maybe not game, but a lot of damage. He sets Mizuki. What do I do here? I set Econ because obviously like with the MST last turn, it felt like he was going to go for some kind of play, and I just like Econ tribute the tree could, you know, disrupt something, and I'm just still kind of sitting here trying to draw a Fishborg, a Caius, a Coelacanth, anything to no avail really. But he pops, and I drew draw Caius, and I realized I have game, assuming he doesn't have Trag specifically. I think there might have even been a way to do it through Trag. I can't remember. I was trying to think about it at the time, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for this anyway. But basically, yeah, the back row's locked, and I like do this and send the dupe. You know, I can bounce stuff too. Yeah, I think this would have been game through Trag if I did it slightly differently. Like, I think I could have bounced this and then specialed the swap. So I probably should have done that, but what can you say? So big misplay from me. Misplay count 1. Misplay count 1. But this is game 3, and I open what appears to be quite a strong hand. I figure he doesn't have that many battle traps, even though at the end of last game he did have a deep prison. Also, there's a argument to doing it in 2 different ways. Like if you summon this, they bottomless. That sucks. But if you 1-for-1 first and then summon this, you can priority on the sub and play around the bottomless a little better. But if you do that, then you always run the risk of them like compulsing or Regeki breaking or wind blasting your sub before you get a chance to do it. So at least with this, you're more or less guaranteeing like the sub actually goes off. Another small thing to note with Oyster is like because of the way the chain links work, like it's chain link 1 Oyster and it'll, I don't know if it'll make stuff miss timing. I don't think that's how it works, but you know, you can't use sub priority. I don't know, someone correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm pretty sure you can, for a while I think I was under the impression that you couldn't do this, but if you get swap here, I think it's just chain link 1 Oyster, but you can have swap trigger as chain link 2, I believe. I think, I'm usually pretty good with this stuff, but I think someone told me I couldn't do that, and then I took their word for it for some reason. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure there's no reason why that would be the case. Also, thank you guys for tuning in. I know I'm like going through this at fucking warp speed, but we're real James Art gaming at this point. So, but yeah, basically like because the Oyster is chain link 1, they have an opportunity to torrential here. And if they did that, and also it would be torrential chain link 2, then the dupe would miss timing. So I usually would try to get tree here. Like I could get swap and send the tree as well, but he doesn't, so I just do normal shit. Send, doot doot. But it's a little awkward because I did side out a dupe and I pitched the dupe. I could have pitched the Gores. This is also something that could have happened, but I figured that most likely the way he's gonna crack through all this is like a Brionic or something, and if I can Gores him then it might be a good punish. But yeah, I basically just have to convert the tokens and stuff. Like honestly, I know it's a little crazy, but it's possible I could have just like tributed the sub and bounced the swap back, like bounced both swap backs, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and had 2 swaps in hand rather than just 1 and just the dupe on the field. It's not a lock obviously, but it like maybe makes my Gores live a little better, and it plays around this specifically. I mean, I don't know if I'm putting him on instant Kaya specifically, but he does play 3 of both. So this like kind of destroys me. I mean, it just sort of negates the advantage that I generated, but it doesn't leave me in a particularly bad spot. I draw the Moray, which is horrible because I just thin my deck of all the water monsters basically. So that's really unfortunate. I bring this back, and here's where I would say I make a mistake because I set my TT just being worried like if he top decks or finds a way to grave a Mizuki or something like that, then you know, if I don't set anything, then I think I could be in a pretty bad spot. So I don't know. I set the TT, but he also knows that I play Roar, so I think that in most worlds he's probably just going to swing with the Kaias, which in theory I thought I was going to be okay with because I'm like, all right, maybe that'll just give me more time to draw waters. But in practice, it kind of leaves me in a bad spot because now I draw this, and like, yeah, obviously I can swap TT, but I hold off, and I think the line that I could have done of like swap Pyro bounce and then chain TT is maybe a good option, but I don't know. I think for some reason I wasn't seeing that, and I draw Regeki break, which is going to be useful, but yeah, probably I think Fraser told me like swap Pyro bounce chain TT here this turn would have maybe been worth it, but I just felt like Gores doesn't play that well into like any of his hand rip guys, you know, and let alone if he can like Kai something too, but also like I don't have good ways to play through the back row, you know. It's like I'm kind of like using resources with the idea that I'm going to be able to pressure him, but I don't think I actually will be able to. So I finally draw Storm, but it's kind of just too little too late. I try to do a kind of cheeky play here. This also could have been swap Cryo bounce, whatever, but I see a line here where if he does not have, let's say, a Caius or I mean, Caius is just game, but an additional piece of removal main 2, maybe a Brianak on my Gores and stuff, then I would probably just be able to beat him next turn. Not really probably, like, I'd be able to get back Treeborn, Econ, Storm, Tribute for Caius, so I'd have, like, Gores token his Caius, my Caius, something like this. And, you know, obviously having Storm beforehand, so probably being able to win. So that was why I did this, but there's a pretty solid argument that I should have just done the swap prio bounce way earlier. But I did it this way, thinking that, like, alright, well, now I'm too low anyway, so this is probably just my best chance to win. But he has a second Caius, and I lose. So it's kind of hard for me to say whether the setting the Torrential was a misplay or not. Like, I also think that at that spot game 1, I could have maybe come up with a better line other than the Urbellum stuff. Also, when he dropped the Trag, I was like, this guy clearly just has Dark Armed or something. But I don't really think there was a good way for me to play around it by that point. So, tough. And Zabo, you know, Zabo's the GOAT, so what am I supposed to do against that? And final match. Thank you guys for being locked in with me. Hashtag locked in. Also, it was a pretty good stream. There's like 30, 40 people or something. I don't know. Like, thanks for watching. And so this is last match against Pretty Boy Pro. I don't know if he has like another moniker that he goes by, but he opens rolling. Sure, wins the roll. I draw garbage, double fish board, never what I want to see. Doesn't have Moray. I just bounce this back, like, I'm gonna try to Unifrog the Whirlwind, I mean, and like set Roar, but he just has the Icarus anyway. There's an argument I could have like waited more on all that, and because it's also like, if he does Icarus, it turns off the drawn Moray. So I probably didn't need to go this hard here. I could have just like bluffed a Gores, but there's also a decent chance that he could have just killed me off. Like him leading Bora probably means he couldn't, but it's hard to say. Like, he could easily deal a lot of damage if he just gets a lucky draw. So I don't have Gores. He obviously draws Shura, and that doesn't even really matter. He's gonna win anyway. But hits again. I can't set the Roar because I need. What is this, bro? What are these ads on my drum and bass mix? On my liquid drum and bass copyright free mix. All right. Anyway, hits. I draw Tongyo, garbage. You know, I drew like 3 fish this game, so 3 fish in 9 cards. Play 6 of them. Have to roar here. I draw Brain. Here, I have the option of just setting up a sub lock rather than going for the Black Rose that I do. But I don't know. I felt like denying the Whirl, putting him to 4 darks. Maybe I knew he had the Blizzard by this point. No, I don't think I knew he had the Blizzard. But I'm trying to think what else I could have done here. I think the answer is not too much, but I could have set up dupes, but it just gets him more searches, and he's going to be able to out it on the following turn with the Blizzard anyway. So I was kind of just hoping he didn't have the Blizzard, and I could just set up with the sub next turn. But he does, and he also has Dark Armor, so I lose. But it was a game with Blizzard and Kalut on his Armwing also, so can't really be too mad at that, although I am. So this game I opened bad again, but he doesn't have an immediate Kalut. A little bit risky on my part, like not TTing, but felt like I kind of had to play a longer game here. here I could summon dupe, I could set dupe. When summoning it, I was thinking, you know, he could find a way to pop this and then just swing over it, like if he has an Icarus, or if he has a Compulse even, he could bounce this dupe and kill the attack mode one. I could set this dupe. I'm trying to remember exactly what I do. If I set the dupe or if I summon the swap. I think I just summon the swap because I figure if he does crack this, I want to have the best possible chance at crackback with like get Treeborn back, tribute for Kaias, and also thinning my deck as well, because I can't really afford to draw more frogs here. So I just do that. And I finally draw Moray, which is great. I decided to shuffle back the swap instead of like, the swap can get me an extra Treeborn Grave to play around the Crow better, but you know, setting up the dupe is still pretty good, having the additional line of defense, like setting the dupe, which is probably what I'll do. Also, like, mooring there, if I hit a Substitute, I have the MST for an oppression. Here, there's a world in which I could go for the Coelacanth and Brain Control or something, but really no need. I can just set this. He can't attack that, I tell him. I think I just Kaias him here. Oh no, I just Coelacanth, because why did I Coelacanth instead of Kaias? Oh, because I figure Kaias would be better follow-up. Like, I feel like it would be better to do it in this way because by the following turn, like, he might have I don't know why I did this way. I don't necessarily think Kaias was better, but I'm finding it hard to articulate why I would go for this here. I mean, the thing is, it's pretty impervious to most things. Like, yeah, I'm gonna MST on the oppression if he has it. I think Kaias could have gotten rugged, you know, also like TT or something, or Chain Icarus on the dupe that would still be on the field. So here, Tongyo really showing its worth, because I am able to dodge a bottomless. And I remember thinking that when he didn't oppression, I could have chained the MST on the priority. He could have chained a bottomless if I hit one there, but I kind of think that, like, if I hit Icarus, then he would maybe have to pop the Coelacanth, and I would just get 5. So I think that there's some merit to having done that. And then, like, by the time, like, they all came out, I kind of forgot that I was gonna do that, because this ends up being, like, kind of risky just into, like, Pollute and stuff. I mean, I do have good follow-up either way, but you know, it was maybe a bigger risk than I should have taken. But anyway, he does prison that, and like I also could have pitched an extra card to make oh no, I couldn't have, because I just had Tongan. Right. So I gained 6. He has to remind me, because I don't usually forget stuff like that, so I felt embarrassed. What does he have here? He has Blizzard back. Oh yeah, this is where this guy, this fucking guy, he has Brionac Priority, which, like, there's just like 0 reason to do that, more or less. Like, if I have like Compulse or maybe Bottomless, and like he had the extra Sirocco, so it wasn't really like a huge loss in value. I thought maybe a Dark Armed, but I had Brain anyway. But like, yeah, I don't know. I was like kind of confused why he did that, but honestly, it probably makes sense if he already had the Sirocco on him. So now I can just start dropping Kaiases on his ass, and I do. He draws this, and I just kill him next turn because he pumps. Hits for this, but then on my turn, I just banished. This took me like so long to figure out for some reason, but I was just like trying to figure out what's better into Gores, and yeah, like hitting with Bora first, and then it leaves him. It doesn't leave him with the Sirocco still face up. So that was of relevance to me. I don't know. Maybe I could have also like know what? I'm thinking like, oh, he was at 48, right? Because I was thinking I could have like armoried on like Pumpless Sirocco and armoried it, but I think that would have just been 47. I'm pretty sure he's at 48. But this hand, all right. We're gonna need a moment of silence here for your boy, because like the Zabo game was one thing, but respect to Zabo, you know, respect to the strategy, and maybe I fucked up, but let's just talk about this guy's hand for a second. And you know what the worst thing is? You know what the fucking worst thing is? I'll pull it up for you. I'll show you. Oh, nice. I'm gonna show you what is haunting my nightmares at the moment. All right, I'm not listening to this. Just a refresher. This is what we're working with here. Skip, skip, skip. That's Dimitri's list. Guess how many DDVs? Fucking one. Fucking one copy. One copy that he sided in. And he draws it in this hand, where he can turn one in. And he won the roll. And he has Whirlwind follow-up. And he has Oppression. Like, come on. But needless to say, I lose this game. I'm just gonna watch him fast forward, because like, what have we been doing here? You know, I do some plays. Like at some point, I'm reading the Oppression, but then there, like, it also gets to a point where I'm like, I have to just hope it's not Oppression. It actually goes on for a while. Yeah, I remember it actually does go on for a while. Because like here, I can like, he knows all my shit. I don't drop the gores because I just figure like if I drop the gores here, then he can half, and like any monster he draws is like insane follow up, and I didn't have the 1-for-1 at the point. Like I don't have a way to convert the gores, so I'm just like putting 2 1300 guys on the board and hoping that it gets there. But as some of this might have been a mistake, but like, you know, he's just representing so much damage, and like the Gale is sort of being a part of that. He goes cuckoo bananas here because, you know, he knows this is stun, and I'm sitting here being like, all right, I'm just gonna stun next turn. I'm gonna get back the Treeborn. I'm gonna 1-for-1, maybe Brain Con, and like do my thing. But he goes so crazy, and he actually fucks up here, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why. His board at the start of this turn was Blizzard, Gale, and he had Bora, Vayu, Sirocco in hand. What he could have done, obviously I've replayed this match in my head 60 billion times, so I've mauled it into oblivion. But what he should have done is special Bora, make Brionac with the Blizzard, Brionac pitch to bounce, it doesn't matter, like bounce Whirlwind if you want, whatever. But you just reactivate it. Tribute the Brionac for Sirocco. Sirocco search Bora. And then, because he already had the Armed Wing Engrave, he would have had Bora, Gale, Sirocco, Armed Wing, or Armor Master, and that would have been more than enough damage. Because this does, because he halves, it hits me for exactly 6650, which is kind of hilarious that it's just like barely off. But yeah, like he had a lethal line as well. I don't even really know who this person is, so I'm not like being like, oh, I lost this idiot guy, but I mean, it was an issue. But yeah, so I can't brain here, obviously, and like this is a point where I just have to make some plays. The Unifrog gets discarded for the DDV. Obviously I can't gores anything at this point, so I just have to go this. I just set up a dupe block and pray. Sad. Yeah, I don't know the world in which like I'm gonna win this game. Like this is the point where I could have just gone for this, or I could have just done it and like swung, but He has Whirlwind up, so it's like a million draws are lethaling me. And I know he has the Bioenhance still, but that doesn't really matter. I get this, you know, this is the start of something, right? Like I could, I don't even remember if I target any, also ask if I'm using the effect, bro, it's a mandatory effect. Like, I'm sorry, you know, I'm being a bit of a hater, but like, it just, if I'm gonna lose, it sucks to lose in this way. But I draw this, I get this back, I figure I can probably double tribute for this. You know, here, I was reading this quite strongly as oppression, there's not too much else it could be, but at the same time, first of all, if I'm ever attacking over these, he can just collude me and I will lose. So, the idea that I'm gonna just like coelacanth swing through all this stuff doesn't seem super realistic to me. So I basically decided at this point, I'm like, I'm just gonna activate the effect, and that is the only way I'm gonna win this game. But of course, he does have the oppression. I mean, ironically, like the cards he had were pretty much dead. I guess he would have just bottomlessed it if I didn't use priority. So yeah, the coelacanth was never just getting there. I think I don't set the snowman specifically for that reason, to try to draw into Moray. But instead I draw Tongyo. You know, coincidentally, all the matches that have knocked me out of tournaments recently, I've drawn Tongyo in them, so as much as I love the guy. Yeah, and I have TT. I figured this was Dyna, but there's just nothing I can do about it. You know, maybe actually, one thing that I didn't realize is that all of these had been specialed. I thought one of them had been normal. So, in reality, if I was really feeling strongly that this was Dyna, I could have maybe Tongyo swung over it and fought my field but left the Tongyo, and then like on his turn, whatever he does try to summon, I have TT for that, maybe survives. But let's be honest, like he has a lot of shit. I'm not winning this game. So yeah, but that takes me out. I didn't TT, I was just trying to see if he would summon another guy, play around my econ, switching into defense, but he doesn't, and I die. Pour one out, you know? Pour one out. Pour one out, you know? No, it's a tough match. It's a tough match. I mean, it's a tough matchup, I guess. It is a tough matchup, but more so when they draw super crazy. And yeah, back to the tier list, bro. For all curious Kevins. But yeah, I mean, that was the run. I went 3-2, so in all honesty, not too happy with how I did. Like, you know, I what did I, in the other tournament, the Time Wizard thing, I went like 8-2 or something. Yeah, something like that. I think I went 6-1 in Swiss, and I won 2 in Taka. So yeah, I went 8-2. So like that is a record I'm happy with. You know, I'm winning like 80% of my games. But Volcanic Quick Draw, that's a good shout, ShamWow. Volcanic Quick Draw, I still like that deck. I actually kind of started to build it yesterday, and I was like, am I just rebuilding Volcanic Quick Draw? I think Volcanic Quick Draw kind of underrated. Kind of never got its time to shine. But realistically, I think it's probably like bottom of B. I don't think it's even better than Welladad. I don't know that it's better than Gemini. But it's probably in here, you know? These are fine. So, that's my time. I think I'll play like 1 to 2 matches. And please don't snipe me. Please don't be a child and snipe me. That would just be, or message the guy I'm playing, or any of these little horrible little meanie tactics that you might do. But we'll play fish. We'll play fish. 0 edits. We'll see the mind at work. You know, we'll see the gameplay in action. play like one or two. I've been using all these other decks and been getting crushed. I've been trying to find a different deck that I like and just been getting destroyed. Mostly instant zombie. But yeah, I don't know if that deck is in it or I'm using the wrong build or what, but like that shit was not hitting for me. You know, it's actually crazy. Back in literal 2010, after Edison format, or after Edison the event, I went there and I played my Bayou deck. And a couple weeks after that, I remember we had a regional, and it was right after the Shining Darkness came out. So, bruh, is this guy trolling right now? Because I'm playing Edison on YouTube. Alright. If this guy streams at me, I would be pissed. But point being, I went to a regional, and Shining Darkness was legal, and I've been really interested in playing zombies, and specifically, yeah, like instant zombies with reinforced truth. I think that because there was a level 2 tuner that came out, and I was just like really into playing that deck, and but I was just kept losing with it. I just kept doing horrible. So I last minute switched decks to like a different weirdo zombie build, like Raiko hamster zombies basically, and I ended up topping with it. So one thing here, if I'm Moray, then he knows what deck I'm playing. You know, this is also frequently a consideration for me. But I think the risk of him Raikoing my Duke Frog, which would be like the other play, is just too great and leaving me without a Moray target. So I'm happy to Moray here. Find another Moray. And I'm gonna fire that one off as well. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? Usually I like to say, like, I don't really like to just mill through my deck using Morays, like, it just seems kind of a waste. But when we find the damn Storm double swap, so now the question is, like, are we gonna Storm? You know, like, this guy can have Starlight Road, but the answer is, of course we're gonna Storm. We don't care. Do we care? What do we care about this guy's Starlight Road? No, because we have Gores. Like, I just don't really want to respect anything. But if he hits me with the main deck pulling the rug, I might just kill myself. But we're gonna do this. I probably. He said 3. Like, if there's a morphing jar, I'm kind of fucked. But I probably will attack. Also, just because I have a second swap frog. So if he uses, oh, that's not good. I guess we search like Rescue Cat, and I can draw. What? But is it just zombies? Like, what is he even playing Sangin anymore? What even plays Sangin anymore? Okay, Goblin Zombie. So again, I'm kind of gonna slow roll my roar. Hopefully this guy doesn't teleport me into another dimension right now. But if he sets the Goblin, then I believe I can Treeborn Kaiasin. Or summons this, whatever. I'm not gonna Gores. No need for me to do that. Mills the sub, would have liked to draw that. Do this. Maybe a TT? Torrential Tribute? Okay. Alright. We successfully read the Torrential. Probably gets like Reaper. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but I mean there wasn't really like much we could do that would have been worthwhile there. Like we could have gorged it and swung through, but still probably like playing into the TT at some point. So just search this second Goblin. I don't know if that means he already has Reaper, and that's kind of scary to me. But I'm still just gonna pass. Like the other line is like I can special swap, swing for 1,000, bounce it, normal summon the do. But that's a lot of effort, a lot of juice for not much squeeze, you know. So now am I gonna Gorz him? I hit for a lot of damage if I do. No, I'm still not. I'm milling more of my frogs. Not bad. Ooh. See, his stupid little goblin zombie just set me up for some good plays. What do you think about that? What do you think about that, buddy? This guy thought he was gonna be able to do combos and whatnot to me of all people. But he's doing weak combos at best. So what am I doing here? I'm just trying to think if I want to try to unifrog him. Because I can't do the swap bounce obviously because all this WM, but I think I probably will. And I'm leading this anyway. So it's just double dupe and uni left in deck. I think he's so low that I do want to unifrog him. And also this also lets me send a sub from deck, which is good. So he can force me here. Okay. I believe I just have the dupe left. And since I bounce back, I can there's like, oh, I probably should set the rover. If he has a tuner, I'm just trying to think if he can game me through boards. I might have fucked up by not setting the rover. Ooh, yeah, this might be bad. I might have fucked up. This is totally a if I were not streaming. But okay, but what can you actually do here? Because the Diva goes Creo, bounce, Mizuki. Like you might need like Dark Arm or something to actually come in. Or like another extender. I think it maybe depends how much he plays around Gores, right? But yeah, leaving both these in attack, maybe I could attribute this off. Yeah, yeah. This was bad. I think I did a bad play. I think he drew the Diva too. Pretty sure he didn't even shuffle hand, just slammed it. Oh no, he had it. Alright. So here's Mizuki. Yeah, this was not great. I'm just trying to think, like, I could have just distributed the uni. It was 51. Big normal. Yeah, that was just a throw. Alright, we gotta lock in here. I might not talk so much. Just playing like Diva Zombie. I usually don't side these in against anything except the more like OTK heavy versions. Tough. I mean, my hand didn't have a lot of crackback anyway, but putting myself in a position to auto lose to Diva plus extender is probably not the best either. Also a chance that if I dropped Gores earlier, then I could just press hit him for enough damage. That was annoying as fuck though. They do literally always have the Reaper, but sadly, I don't want to set the roar. So. Okay. All right, that's a good draw. Sure. As long as he doesn't kill me here, I'm probably fine. Vanities, okay, that's fine though. See, people think like, you see how fast he did that? Like, people get so excited, they're like, oh, I can finally drop vanities. Like, bro, okay, look what's about to happen. I mean, certainly, I'm not pleased about it, but you would think he just like won fucking $6 million the way he slammed that shit down. Ooh, and now we're cooking, baby. That was a really good draw, obviously. Oh, buddy. I mean, that's crazy. He had such a good setup there. Oh, he dropped the board. Okay, sure. So I take 1,000. That's how that works. I'm just thinking because I think I can take it and switch it to attack and attack him, but there's no reason for me to do that. Put it to defense. Hopefully it doesn't Kaios me. Okay. Now I have big fish in. If I can double armory arm him, that would be ideal, but if he crows me, I mean, I can just do yeah, I can just do normal shit. Like, doesn't matter if I bounce back the gores. Oh. I get token. I misstorm him. And then obviously I quit. So it's like the vortex can maybe come in because of the fiend. Probably like break. Swap maybe. Swap seems kinda good. I don't really like this going second. But I think shoot's good enough. Crow's kinda like a weird card, and like so is Fader obviously. On one hand, you gotta maximize the outs to the thing, but you also don't want to just like make your deck shit. It's a good hand. Well, damn. Like I said, you know, I often would do this sequencing Solemn, I guess. This is the one downside of doing it this way, but like. I guess you have to take it because the Fiend, but like. Give me this as well, and then. That's so rough. Now the life is on too. Sucks. Is his hand really that bad that he needs to swing over this with that? Here's a Reaper or something? Kind of confused. I mean, maybe his hand was bad and then fifth draw, but. Sure, okay. Oh, fucking get the. Okay. That's crazy. I mean, if he's just going plague, well, I don't know. True one time? Okay. Search zombie master. Yeah, this is a rough one. Could just like Morite first or set the Duke Frog, but it plays so hard into like him having a tuner Archives or something. Alright, well, we're gonna play some fucking casino right now. Maybe we can find an out to this, although I have no idea what would actually put us in a good enough spot to make it matter. Okay. Gamble 1, not very successful. Ricky break, not really what we want to see either. Gamble 2, equally unsuccessful. Definitely not what we want to see. Touch this, then. Yeah, I mean, this is just cooked, right? Like, I feel like even with the swap. Just the Solemn, it's like I could have led on the Morai, but I'd rather thin the deck first. The worst thing is, these guys leave this game, and they're like, man, that was a close game, I learned a lot, you know? Like, that's like the type of shit people say to me. And it's just like, cringe as fuck. He was playing instant, okay. See, this is literally the deck that I've been playing the past like bunch of matches and never works for me, but You gonna Arcanine? Do I have a shotgun? If I shotgun this, I'm trying to think if there's a way I can take it with the swap, but I don't really see. I don't really see myself winning in general, but this is brutal. This has been a brutal one. Through the game one. There's like one way I win this game. I don't know. I mean, it's like I can let him pop this, hit the king, and then he summons the zombie master, taking 46. And then, or I can set 4 or something, try to get him to whiff, and then I'm breaking the fiend in battle. That doesn't do anything. Yeah. I think swapping for the fiend is like the only way I'm gonna win, but I don't think even that's very likely. I mean, I guess it's a game if I, yeah. Maybe he holds the zombie master or whatever other monster. That's like the only way I feel like I can do it. No, okay, of course not. Yeah, maybe. I mean, but if it's like brain off the top, then zombie master crack over that. Yeah, I mean, I lose. Crazy. You know this guy gonna say some shit. Or not. Or not. Yeah, man, it's been very bad luck for me on that. I don't know. I don't know if I can call that one bad luck because I threw game one, but it's just like, I feel like this happened to me after Goat Worlds or a few other big tournaments where it's like, for like the week after, it's like, oh, I can't win a fucking match. It's crazy. I don't know. I should just cut this shit with 0 gameplay, because look at me now. Oh, it adds to hand, doesn't mill, right? If you have second water here, there's a specific thing you can do to kill them, but obviously I don't. setting roar, just like avoiding all the bullshit. I had a guy do something like this to me at the Time Wizard event, and I think he did turn one this, and then normal summon Sangan, make Urbelon. Or maybe it was a Gallus, but no, I think it was Sangan. I was like, Jesus. My shotgun in case it chains up? No. Maybe it's like literally this guy, because it was like a dark monster mash deck. Yo, it could literally be. Alright, buddy. Sorry. Okay. Can't make this shit up. Can't make this shit up. Jesus Christ. So here I faded. Okay, Jesus. Please no more. He did have it. It doesn't even matter, but he did have it. Jesus. Dude, come on. Come on. This is insane. Oh my god. Like, what planet, you know? I'm in disbelief. There's one warrior, right? Okay, so I'm safe. Bruh. These people. This shit is fucking with me at a certain point, you know? It's always like... If he has some other crazy... Like, there's literally nothing you can have, but... Why is he looking? Don't touch my cards. First of all, don't touch my cards. And then I'm in shock about the damn double crow. I need one warrior, bud. I need one warrior, it's not enough. This game is a test. This game is a test sometimes. Jeez Louise, you know what I'm saying? How many more cards are in? Is Crow even good? Bro, I feel like Mind Crush is sus because I don't really know what all his cards are. Pretty frequent side plan for me. I'm like, they're playing too many confusing cards, like, better just stay away from that. Swap is probably fine to take on. Are you only playing fish on this account? No, I've played a lot of other decks on this account, and those have been most of the losses, to be honest. I think if I stuck with only fish, I would have been in a better spot. Why did I not play the best deck? Well, this is the best deck, first of all. even though it doesn't look like it right now. But no, I mean, I do think fish is very strong, but also this guy was, dude, they slammed the vanities being like fucking no one's business, I'm telling you, I swear to God. Oh, okay, it's just double Kais. Double Kais, oh my God. I guess he can, this sucks. I mean, he can Norlair. I think this is literally what the guy I played at the YCS was playing. Mally. Or he has Mally and Graves.
Story begins. I'm sorry I won't be able to see it, but I don't want you to be sad. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all.
Yeah, I'm definitely just fucked, but I don't know what I'm gonna do about that one. Let me decide if I'm using this here. The next turn you can like, I think I probably have to, and maybe just like hope that I draw a control spell or something. I just don't think it gets better for me later on. Almost. I mean, I thought he was just gonna Caius it, but I guess getting the Necro Engrave. This is entirely useless, but I guess I'm still somehow in this, sort of. Should I let him Caius it, or should I just shotgun the... He's probably gonna Gallus Caius. I mean, is there a road that I'm taking the Caius? It's a tough one. I think I'll wait. Huh. I mean, I don't know that he has good, more good stuff to send other than like a Norlaris maybe. but the only other option is like sending the Gallus. Maybe it is the Gallus, because then you can make a 5 next turn. I draw like Gores or something. Hey. We get bailed out over here. Yeah, we're getting bailed out. Hey, this might not be so bad. Take 14. Oh god, he milled the Dark Arm. So now he has that for the Phantom. Jesus. Oh. Okay, I still need to dodge. Still need to dodge everything, but this is gaming, bro. We're gaming right now. He doesn't have cores, right? Oh, fucking A. It's 1,000, he swings on that, but I can't, yeah. And I would cores an attack. So I'd be taking 1,000. I take 1,000, but then I have to vortex his field next turn. You can clear my board with Dark Arms. Also, if he just has another burn effect. Does he have any other weird shit to copy? No, I probably just have to bounce this and use it. Dude, this is the trials and tribulations, right? Why does it look nuked? I don't know, man. I don't know. Do you think I know how any of this shit works? I'm a boomer. You think I know how to fix technological issues? I'm fighting for my life out here, and you're talking about the damn contrast? Oh god damn it, it's like the one thing. I guess Plague and Grave. Can you make Urquizus? Oh, you can stack for Brio, right? Maybe if I... Okay. Yeah. Alright, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah. That was a doozy. Alright, can we win one, boys? Drawing like the same hand every time, Jesus. I hope this works. I hope to God this works. know he has 60 billion crows already. At the ready. The fucking crow army over here. Making fader, bring back tree. Let's take a look at the damn tier list again. Let's just look at that shit. Why not? Ojama and your joking tier could be higher, you know? What's this guy doing? Maybe I need to crow his effect or something. What's happening here? He's gonna send Necroguard and I'm gonna end phase crow it. I think I'll fade. I'm just trying to think if I... I actually don't need to unphase crow it because I'll tell you why. Good, good. No crow? No? Nothing? These have been the hardest games of my career. Okay, crucial step here. Big brain. Anybody? Anybody here for the big brain maneuvers? Token in attack mode. I actually didn't know you could do that. I did. I knew that because I've played this deck for a while. I know that. My crow on the shit. Come on. A little bit? Anything? Good job, James. A little bit of love for the playing through the Necrogarden, not just end phasing it like everyone else would do. Anybody? I don't get when I do things like that. This guy's opening Oppression DDV Whirlwind Kalut against me. Fucking can't even find his game shot. I'm over here doing stuff like that. What are we talking about? Come on now. I think I got one more in me, and then I sign off. But like we do a little cooking, right? Like that was like, you know, just light work, just a bit. Just another day at the office. All right. One more. No snipers. Maybe a real meta deck. Maybe we're not gonna get sacked. Maybe we are gonna get sacked. Maybe we're gonna sack. Ooh, this guy watches a lot of my games. I think, or maybe, how do I know this guy? I know him from somewhere. I think he just watches a lot of my games. Pro popping over to the stream. Just to pick rock. He threw me off. Surely he doesn't have Spirit Reaper. Probably hates Spirit Reaper. It pisses me off so much that I, on a consistent basis, neglect playing around Spirit Reaper, and yet Spirit Reaper is like the one card in, you know, the 10FD value list, whatever, that like everyone, you know, gives him credit for or whatever. It's just like, why it gotta be Spirit Reaper, you know? Yeah, I think I get too much from using Storm. I don't really want to, but it's like double tree. So I didn't send the sub because I want to draw the sub because, watch, this is why I'm constructed alternatively. Look, now I can do this, and next turn I can still have stuff in deck for my sub and still be safe this turn. You understand? You understand? What makes me fold Moray? Yeah, I thought maybe I should explain that, but it was too complicated, so I didn't want to. It felt like very little to gain. Like I could hit a Dust Shoot or a Gores, perhaps, but there are a lot of other waters that I would rather shuffle back than those. And if I could do something like what I did, like thin my deck and then use the Moray, that's preferable. I definitely wouldn't use that with priority, just to be crystal clear for everybody. It's gonna be this guy. Gonna be swinging with him. Going to be popping that. And we're gonna be swinging with the substitute. We're rocking and rolling. But yeah, no, there were just like more good waters that I could draw, and or bad waters, I guess I should say. And then the potential of thinning the deck. He also like didn't know I was on fish necessarily. I don't know. Like, if someone were to come in and be like, "You're doing this all wrong, James. Like, here's why," I'd probably be like, "Yeah, you're probably right." Like, but it's a vibes related proposition. Okay, so we're mind conning on dupe. So he's gonna make a android or something and swing a dupe or catastrophe or whatever. I guess catastrophe, sure. But I have brain. Is there a world that I just let this happen? You can only attack that. I think I'm fine to roar here. Because I have Fader too. Like, if it was the only defense I had, then maybe. Also, stupid. There's some debate whether I would bring it back here, but I think even if he TTs, I can still search swap and still be fine. So I'm expecting this might get solemned. Now I can do the thing I did. I think I did it once in the tournament where I go like there are definitely like other lines I could do here, but oftentimes I just kind of go for the one that is going to cause me the least stress. Oh, I did it slightly wrong. I was supposed to attribute the Unifrog. No, it doesn't really matter. And this is just Armory Mistform. I don't bounce all the back row just because of Gores, even though who cares? And he's not bad. Nothing crazy, but not bad. X-Saber. Trap Stun. You know, like, these cards are kind of randomly good against X-Saber. Vortex also could be good. As you can see, like, half my side deck is for like degen decks and half my side deck is for like aggro-y decks. I kind of feel like Gores is maybe not really the vibes. I don't want this. I might want that. Okay, so what am I actually siding out here? Because as of right now, I think swap is probably mid. I think Econ's okay. They can do stuff under Cold Wave. But Cold Wave is also, I mean, Cold Wave just won me the damn game, so how can I be that upset at Cold Wave? I think TT just don't really know what bullshit these guys are gonna come with, you know? Like, something like that. We're just freestyling it, you know? Double roar. I don't like drawing double roar. Not really a fan of drawing double roar. What was your just? Hold on. What was your Chester Brothers for this list? Didn't play a bunch. Yes. I took the old list that I had, and then that's a good draw. I thought about Tangyo, and I thought that in a weird way, you know, it like fixes some of the problems with the old list, and I said, run it. Hey, maybe the double roar is not too bad, you know? When I got this set up, maybe double roar exactly what I need. He might like crow my ass. He might crow my white ass. That's fine. What's this? Is he making Herbal? People see, they think this is just gonna work. It doesn't work, dude. The shit doesn't just work. This guy needs help. I don't think this is rug set, because I feel like you would have rugged the swap, but at the same time, you don't really know. Okay, he's trying to intimidate me. That's not what I meant to do. Oh, okay, you do have grow. Alright. Mask restrict or some shit? What's going on here? Sure. Yeah? Okay, sure. I got you. Mask restrict. Alright. I see you. I see you, buddy. The card, honestly, not many people have sided against me. So we kept in the Unifrog. So what are we really trying to achieve here? I think not only do we get to send a card, we also get to look at our deck and see which cards might out this fucking Master Strip. MSD Storm, Unifrog, Salvage. I have double salvage in, right? Or no, I only have one. Okay. Yeah, it's looking a little questionable, to say the least. These guys keep putting us in situations. That's the damn problem. Sure, whatever. You have the fucking fault roll, go for it. Oh, no. Salt? Bribe? Okay. Alright. We're always drawing the out. Okay, gets us to fishboard. Well, boys. I'm gonna have to fucking buy Prism. Okay, so if I go... This is so ass. I have to go... What do I pitch that for Borg? This is so stupid. This is so stupid. But I think it will work. If I'm not mistaken. I mean, if he has Solemn or Road, then he just has it. But the other option is just Brionicking him, which I'm thinking about. Because he can also have fucking Saberhole. I don't think I'm beating Saberhole. Is it better to Brionic? No, I can't Brionic him. Oh, god damn it. He said think. This is not good. He shouldn't have said think. Fuck. He definitely has something. Oh. We might. Boys? Anybody? Yo? I maybe should have left Kaya, not Coelacanth. Or substitute even. I thought next turn I could like pitch for Borg and summon it back, but I need 2 turns to do that. I just need to not have, okay, that's fine. He can have that, he's allowed to have that. There's no way that worked. Okay, alright. It's a very thin line where it's not good. I could make, I don't want to make that. God damn it, he has another one. Fuck this guy. Oh my god. Why do you have 2? Come on now. I'm supposed to have 2. This is miserable. But still I rise, you know? Almost like, do I get this in attack mode? No, I'm getting it. Whatever. It's an attack, I don't care. This is trying my patience. At least I didn't have that wingman for Black Rose. Bullshit. He can't even use Gothams under the Master Restrict. The thing is, if I got this in defense, this wasn't what I was thinking about fucking Fiendish Chain, but he could full helmet. And literally in this situation, he could crash this and then get flown. worse. Jesus Christ. Alright, well, if I find a way to pop the Fuge's chain, maybe this capacitor can just beat him. But it's not looking good. Hold on. I don't like this. I don't like him thinking. Oh god. You draw a fucking cat or some shit? I mean, if you just drew a level 3. This is a tough watch. Man. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Fuck me. But what are you even making here? Because you can Koya. Basically, I thought I might have to, like, I didn't want to start swap dumping stuff from deck. Maybe I could dump a sub, but oh god, his play is like insane here. He can Goyo Stardust and rip a card. And maybe it was wrong, yeah, because I could have kept dumping the subs, but I thought maybe there's, if I draw like a dupe, if I draw like dupe, I can get back swap and send the uni and get it back with salvage. That's legitimately what I was thinking about. Because otherwise I don't have a way to put another frog on the field to use the unifrog effect. This is fucked up. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. There's no reason for me to be here anymore. That's insane. Like, okay, see, do y'all understand now? It's like, when I say I don't lose to normal shit, it's not like, it's not just me making shit up. Like, yeah, I could be a dickhead and like, you know, like annoying about this shit, but like, what the hell? Who's this? Yeah, how badly don't? That's fine. That's fine. If he has this many floods, I don't want the wave, but I don't know if I want stun either. Vortex is also an option. Probably stun is good because it can negate the bottoms too, but I don't know anymore. I give up. So this might prove to be bad, but this is a little play I like to do when I don't want to get Spirit Reapered or in this case Airbellumed. I do this. I think we should be alright. I think we should be alright. you know what we're gonna search? We're gonna search fucking Unifrog because I'm tired of this guy. They're not gonna let him do any shenanigans to me. What now, buddy? What now? You're set 4, I have Storm. You're set 1, I have Unifrog. You're set 2, alright, fair game. But you're set none, I have Kaisu. Good luck. I've created the ultimate lock, you could say. Okay. He's thinking. He's really thinking about it. I respect him, you know, it's a tough match. Okay. I mean, that's kind of fine, yeah, like, it's annoying, but... Oh no, he thinks I can't Unifrog him, but I can. Or I mean, I can't, but... Get out of here. Okay, I'm just trying to think if I want to keep the swap or bounce it and tribute the uni. I think I want to keep the uni. Yeah. I have an attitude the way you said game. Fucking attitude to me. Dude, he had Saber Hole, Master. He had the works. Get out of here. Get out. Be gone. Okay. And do I set the roar? I think I don't. Okay. This guy needs to get out. This guy needs to be gone. I'm performing an exorcism right now. Dude, don't look at your grave. There's nothing in there for you. Yes. Yes, just set a monster meekly. Yes. Yes, it's James's game. James wins. Yes, get rid of that. You won't need that where you're going. You're at 800. You can't even brain control. I don't even know if I want to set this because then I can't Unifrog. You can set an Emmer's Blade and stall out for a while. I'll probably just keep. I have 2. That's how it's done. That's how you do it. Get out. Be gone. Okay. Well, I'm glad you could see a window into the tier list. The back to the tier list. Clearly, this deck is S+. But yeah, I don't know. I think something like this deck probably sucks, but like, you know, something like this. Blackwings, Heroes, they both kind of suck. Fish should probably move up based on the results of those matches alone. I don't know. I mean, just something in the vicinity. It's like these decks. Okay, here's the thing. These like trapless decks, like Fish, Christia Sworn, Dragon Turbo. I mean, it's just like very hard for them to be consistent, you know? Like, I don't think they can ever be like the best deck because you just don't have like as much versatility or like game versus like complicated game states or something. But, and DB Hero is just like underpowered, but it's still good enough. Zombie's also kind of underpowered, but like still good enough. This deck is cash money. This deck, I don't know. It's probably up there with this. You can also just play Diva with instant, so it's not really a. This is probably good. Yeah, I don't know. Close enough. Who cares? You're joking. S plus Frog OTK. Anyway, I think I'm gonna call it. It was a good run. We had a good session of it. What do you think about Blood? I think it's pretty bad. I have it in the bottom of B tier, so judge that what you will. I don't think it's pretty bad. I think it's good. And there's the shout out to Dart X. He keeps opening Insano hands and beating me. But nah, I mean, it's a zombie deck, and you're playing just like different, more situational extenders than the other zombie decks. So it's slightly worse than the other zombie decks. And the other zombie decks, but the problem is the other zombie decks are sort of like fragile already. So like if you change up their consistency of like extenders in that way, I feel like you kind of end up with a much worse deck than you otherwise would. But it's like fine. It can definitely be like it has game. It's just like these decks are gonna more often than not have better matchups on average. All that shit. You know how tier lists work. All that shit. All right though. Any last minute queries? Anything before I go? I have a good frog video. I know I've been saying that multiple times, but hopefully you can see, judging on these games, some maneuvers that I've done. I can't believe that Black Rose walked. But what did I lost to the, what I lose to the zombie guy? I beat Monster Mash and I beat X Sabers. So I beat, I don't even have Monster Mash on this list, Jesus. Norlaris Monster Mash, no less. Monster Mash, come here, somewhere. Maybe in Who Cares. No, Monster Mash is probably as good as Kuraz or something. I feel like I want a good Monster Mash build. I would love a good Monster Mash build, but it hasn't really been vibed to me yet. Oh wait, oh my god. Oh, never mind. I thought I missed like a shitload of, I missed a shitload of messages. No, I didn't. How do I stay clean with it? I don't know what that means, but if you're talking about the Yu-Gi-Oh, I just be dueling. Are you gonna post? I missed earlier explanations. Yeah, I'll post this. I mean, the VOD's gonna be up, and then I think I'll probably clip it as I do the tier list. But bear in mind, if I recall, the explanations for most of them were basically like, this deck sucks, this deck is good, so don't expect too much, but realist in the game, you know? I don't know, I'm not here, it's like, who are these people that are sitting here talking, oh, like, this has a slightly superior matchup spread in the subterranean region, like, Jesus, like, shut up. Like, bro, the decks are the decks, like, and also, this is not my post RBET Rulers tier list. This is, the format is the same. The format's been the same. This is like the same tier list I would have made 6 months ago. It's all the same shit. Except I made Fish better. I made Fish better. So now that's up there. But no, like, nothing fucking changes. It's like, the card pool is the exact same and the metagame shifts like don't matter that much. So I don't know. It's the same shit. But people just want to make content, I guess, or like to hear themselves talk. Not that I'm any different. But yeah, I'm out. I'm done. Thank you for tuning in. All of the technical difficulties, the personality difficulties, you know, those will be corrected soon. But I'm gonna do it again sometime. You know, we'll chill. We'll play some games, the full experience. All right, but peace, guys. Have a good night. Hope you enjoyed.